red, blue, purple light. Friends, red, blue, purple light. Friends, facts, red, blue, purple light. Friends, red and blue, purple light. Friends, facts, you can get to know the ledger, sacrilegious Sunday to melanin Monday. You can get to know the ledger, my love. Just open your third eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road, you better stay on your toes. I was till the land focused on the ego, then I open my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah, we gon' put this shit on our backs. Facts, facts, we in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, facts, peace, love and light. Peace, love to the family. Peace, love and light to the family. Peace, love and light to the family.
These days and time, black man, is going to be the time that you have been waiting for. You came here for a reason. Whatever pressure, whatever adversity, whatever the fuck you feel, I don't know what you feel, but whatever you may be feeling is going to push you, and it's going to provoke you, and it's either going to make you or break you, similar to how pressure busts pipes or the shit makes diamonds.
Peace to the family, peace to you and yours, peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Welcome, 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 welcome to Know the Ledger, 444, Third Eye Thursdays. You are now rocking with the best. Yes, this is your host for the evening, soon to be joined by my guest, the good brother RAS. Before we begin, let me know how we sound on the audio. Before we begin, let me know how we sound on the audio. Are we coming through clear or not? All right, give me an audio check, audio check. Peace, love, and light to the family in the building. They said it sounds crispy, so yes, let us begin. First and foremost, how is everybody in the building doing on this 111, this very special portal day? I want to say peace, love, and light to everybody in the building on the first day of this Gregorian calendar year of 2026, which adds up to 111. I am so enthusiastic about what we have to offer. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, this is a gift. This is a KTL gift wrap session. Make sure you have your pens and your pads on deck. This is going to be one of those sessions and whatnot. So let us waste no time. I don't even want to hold this brother up. I don't want to hold you up. We'll do the roll call as we get down the line and whatnot. And we have a world premiere tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We have a world premiere. We got new music on deck. 2026. We are continuing the vibes. You know what I mean? Make no mistake about it. We got a new classic, a new heater and whatnot. So let's get it in. All right. Let's go ahead and bring to the stage our guest for this evening, ladies and gentlemen. None other than our good brother. All right. The mystic from Philly who teaches us all about the mystery, the history, and the prophecy. I want to introduce to you the author of the phenomenal classic 20 Years, Rocks of Ages, all right, along with other books. Philadelphia and DC's very own RAS in the building.
There
Peace
he is.
to the God.
There they are. Salute.
All right.
Love and honor.
Salute to the God. Peace to the God. Yes,
Mr.
indeed.
Moreland,
There you go,
love
Mr.
and honor
Moreland.
to the KTL community
Yes, yes.
on the day they'd like to say Happy New Year. And I would like to open it up proper if that's cool.
Oh, please do.
I'd like to say
Definitely.
glory to word, glory to sound, glory to power. As it was in the beginning, let it be right here, right now, in this divine time and sacred space. One love, one heart, one mind, one soul, one God, one aim, and one destiny. Yes,
Indeed.
yes.
I and I.
Love, honor, and respect. We want to give thanks and praise to the omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent one in the omniverse. Give thanks for our life, health, and strength. Give thanks for our knowledge, wise mind, and overstanding. Give thanks for our faith, love, and charity. And give thanks for our food, clothing, and shelter. Angels and ancestors that walk and talk with us. Give thanks for the guidance and protection. Give thanks for the everything, the nurturance, the support, the grace, the mercy that follows us every footstep. Yes, yes.
Yes, indeed.
And may we open this time to collect that calendar year, not the count of days, not the sacred Enochian count of days, not the Mayan count of days.
Yes.
We know that. But we all on this calendare, time to collect debt. And we got to balance out our life in this
with the bills.
calendar matrix.
Right.
So open the door for us to prosperity, abundance, good fortune.
Right. Let it rain.
Especially in
Clear
these
it out.
times and this year, as we'll see. So give thanks, love, honor, and respect to all.
Yes. I'm so grateful to be here,
You the builder.
family. I'm also grateful to be here with you, good brother. When we touched bases a few days ago, and the decision was made by you to bring your teachings and your gift to the family, I was like, yeah, let's do it. It's going to be special.
Well, I will have to say it was an alignment because I know this isn't like spring is our new year and all that, but I will say this winter solstice season seemed really deep. You know, like just a lot of energy in the atmosphere, a lot of like karmic ancestral things sealing up mystically before one's eyes. And it was just like, right, even how you invited me down to Atlanta.
Atlantis. I'm
Where
sorry,
we
King. I'm sorry,
shared
King.
that with a, you
Atlantis.
know, a closed community, right?
Yes.
And I got to meet the brethren Ra Aku face to face and build with him, which had been a long time coming, you know.
Long time. Yeah, long time.
And you know, to like that brother was like, I was profound. And then to find out like we're both born in 65, we're both from Washington, D.C.
Yep.
You know, it's just like that was just kind of mystical, you know. But part of the mystical fulfillments that was happening this year had to do a lot with the One Art Community Center here in Philly, because that's really kind of where this thing started, right?
Right.
Playing around with students of astrology like myself 15, 20 years ago, you know, just having fun. And it was like the vibes like we had to keep that going this year,
Right,
right?
right, right.
And after all the movements of the holidays, it was like, you know what? We got to keep the tradition we started with the pillars, especially this year with that predictive market and
Yeah,
predictive
the
economy
rise of the
that you're
rise of the predictive.
introducing to the KTL community.
Yes,
How could we not throw some shit out there at the beginning of the year, right? Kind of, building the momentum for moving in that predictive market. And so, and right, when I had cause I went to Atlanta, I had to go to DC, deal some, deal my mom and, all of them, cause whether you want to recognize Christmas or Kwanzaa or none of it, and, it's still a time, family,
yes,
obligating family expectations is healthy.
yes,
Honoring family, keeping your elders happy and keeping your youth happy is
yes.
healthy. It's important,
Very.
you know?
Um,
And
can I add on?
you could have whatever feelings about the holidays. We know it's a economic gain, go
Right.
from red to black at the end of the year and money grab. We know all that. But it's still important to put a smile on your mom's face. It's still
It is.
important to put a smile on your child's face. That's reality, So we can't lose sight of the simple things, you know?
Hmm. Right.
And but after I finished all them and came home, right? The spirit was like, and I need to even add, I'm like, this calendar, keeping up with days and dates and all them things, it's like I see a part of our relationship of time changing
Hmm.
is the calendar is losing less and less relevance in our lives. So I
Big
don't
time.
know any given time, I don't know what day of the strong it is. I don't know what
I don't.
date of the strong it is. I just
Yo.
be riding the wave of time. But when I
Right.
came forward, it was like, plan for Third Eye Thursday,
Mm.
right? Spirit was like saying, plan to come and share with the red on Third Eye Thursday. So and this was like maybe Sunday or Monday, right?
Right.
With some days pass. And I didn't realize at the time I was getting this message that today was January 1st and New
Hmm.
Year's Day. And then to me, Third Eye Thursday took on a whole new significance and importance. Uh, this being January 1st, you know,
Right.
and the whole thing of the predictive markets being a open door in 26 and the tradition that we had kind of been starting since about 2020,
Yeah, I
where
think it was.
we
Yeah.
build with the KTL community at the beginning of the year. It was
Hmm.
like, it, it's only right to share tonight what we shared in Atlanta
Right.
to open the door for more reasoning because we had all, yourself, Ra Aku, and myself, it seemed like we brought out the best of each other's. because you said some things that night that I felt were very profound. One of them being that 3i Atlas is creating a new timeline for us, right?
Right.
And you had reasoned on that, like the whole, what we say, space-time relationship,
Mm-hmm.
where we are in 26 and 3i Atlas. And it was just like, yeah, we got to build on them things more, with the broader
Definitely.
community without dollars and cents in the way.
Right.
Just outer net connection and let's build.
Facts.
Yeah. So it's an honor, salute to be a part of the KTL community tonight.
Yes. Yes,
Excited.
I. Yes, I. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's up?
Oh no, I was just checking.
All right.
No, I was saying yes,
Now,
definitely.
so when you're ready to pull up that PDF, I'm ready when you are,
Oh, let's get
or
right.
if you want to
Yeah.
build some more, I'm on your rhythm. I'm on your frequency, Bradger.
All right. So let's build it. Let's drum it up and whatnot.
All right.
And let's just touch on a few things. All right.
Yeah. Let's get into it because I know your KTL community, they ready. They ready.
So
And I'm ready. Because we all have fun.
um
Because the whole thing about 3i Atlas and the new timeline that
mhm,
you were building on, I felt that was so timely because if you ask me, one of the things 3i Atlas did is it awakened astrologers to the reality that as it is, as Raku helped clarify for us, as modern Western astrology,
yes,
modern
modern
Western
and
astrology
Western. Right.
goes, uh, it has a very limited scope. And we have a good orientation to our solar system, but we have very little to no orientation within our galaxy
Our galaxy, right.
with our modern West astrological studies.
Right.
And
They're limited.
when we looked at the 3i Atlas coverage, right,
Right.
we saw a lot of astronomers, observers of stars, right? That's the difference between an astronomer and an astrologer. Astronomers only observe celestial objects. You saw a lot
Tell
of
the family
coverage
the
from
difference.
astronomers and astrophysicists
Right.
who, beyond just observing the stars, analyze the physics of the
Okay.
stars. But
Yes.
you didn't see a lot of commentary on astrology from astrologers. At least I did,
Right.
you know. Not to say that no astrologers didn't talk about 3i Atlas, but even if there was an astrologer who spoke on 3i Atlas, their angle appeared limited and shallow. If you ask me, my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
as appeared shallow and limited, and basically echoes of what the astrophysicists and astronomers were saying, right?
Right.
With, Aquarius thrown in there or conjunct Mars thrown in there, whatever. But, I didn't really see meaningful information that we could apply to our lives from astrologers online dealing with
Mm.
3i Atlas.
Right.
And I felt like one of the biggest reasons because modern Western astrology, as
It
Brother
doesn't go.
Aku clarified for us, doesn't have uh, the scope, the lens of scope, or the vocabulary to really go deep on intergalactic, intercosmic objects, and
Right.
that interact with us and get meaning from it.
Facts.
So I felt it was important that we dig in our astrological ancestral libraries, truth berries,
Right.
particularly out of Ethiopia, the Book of Enoch, and out of Egypt, the calendar astrology of what was it called? The Dendera glyphs,
The Temple of Dendora.
like yeah. And see if we could get meaning out of it. And I think
Hmm.
the fruit of that is
Yes.
going to be we say a new perspective of astrology.
Mm. Well,
I think and this might just be me tripping. This is my opinion. But I think that evening where myself and Ra Coop built, that's going to be compiled into something that becomes a broader lens of astrology and a more anciently rooted branch of astrology.
mm.
And who knows the name of it or
Right.
the form it's going to take, but you would also describe that night as a night of breakthroughs.
It
And
wasn't.
I would have to
It was
affirm
profound.
that
Profound.
that what, and this is a part of this 3-eye atlas, right?
Hmm. Yep.
That it's creating new timelines. And we're doing it in real time, in real life. We're creating a whole new astrological study of the stars and its influence on humanity. We're a
Right.
part of the breakthroughs and the new timeline, creating the new timelines and the evolution the 3-eye atlas is inspiring. We part of it real time, you know?
Real talk. So
Yeah,
look,
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
even gonna.
So
Yeah, I'm not even gonna waste any time, my good brother. I want everybody to know by the fourth slide, you are going to be qualified for your PhD. I promise you. By the time the brother gets to the fourth slide, you are going to find yourself in the middle of Harvard.
yeah. Let's
Literally,
jump into it. This is my half,
let's
and I have a feeling you're gonna have Ra Aku on to share
to
his
reason.
half,
Yes.
and yeah. Cause I ain't gonna lie. At one point when that Brethren Ra Aku was talking, it was like listening to like Aristotle or Plato or you know your vision of
Right.
ancient. I know they're Greek and the Kemetic magi were the real ancient philosophers and all that. So I'll even say that. But it was like I had a flashback.
Right.
I had a flashback where I seen Raku seemed to be like in a like
The
ancient
portal.
Kemetic gear, and behind him, you know how y'all use these computer backdrops to put whatever you want in the backdrop. It was like
Right.
it was like the scene of the Nile behind him with palm trees and he was
Right.
drunk, man. It was like
But
listening to
look,
an ancient philosopher listening to their brother in real life. I was just like, wow.
but
Yeah,
look,
yeah, yeah.
the
The
the look,
cosmophysician. What?
the subtitle was ancestral intelligence, right?
Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
subtitle. So the whole strong end, we started with artificial intelligence. Brothers that are looking into the future, Slice and Bitcoin Bully with web, and then me as well. On Friday, we were dealing with the futurists, visionaries into the future. And then to cap off on that, and that was the day that the third eye atlas was on the 19th
Was
when it was in
closest,
alignment.
right? The
Right.
perihelion on the
So, right.
19th.
So exactly. So we moving with that, right? Boom. So we cap it off on that Sunday with ancestral intelligence, with you and Ra'aku bringing ancient wisdom, ancestral wisdom, and proving, right? Because I was like, look, I want to demonstrate to the world, to the network, to the whoever is going to tap in, that although this artificial intelligence is like, it's the thing of 2025 that everybody talking about, you got to remind people that there is an intelligence that we possess, that
That
no
preceded
computer,
that.
no neural
Yeah, yeah,
network,
yeah.
that way precedes that. The breakthroughs that we were making, the computer can't even make that, bro. With all of its computing power, it doesn't
I'd
even,
have to
it's not at
affirm
that
that.
level.
I'd have to affirm that. And
Yeah, so
I would
let's
even say another ingredient I saw that was important. They have to come together. When we're in each other's presence, we activate something in each other. Now, I got to be honest, right? I knew I was going to be in this nigga's Ra'aku's presence. I couldn't come with no slackness. I had to be on my A game. I knew that, right?
because
But
you know
I
how
say it jokingly,
he
but
let
I
you
guess what
know.
I'm saying is even the anticipation of being in this man's presence was bringing out the best in me, you know?
Right.
And then being in, because I done seen he ain't got no problem uh setting you straight on or, wherever, like whatever, he gonna say what him feel, So yeah, yeah, yeah. I ain't want to throw nothing out there that was gonna have him chopping me up,
Right.
But
Right.
being in his presence and hearing him
Mm-hmm.
was even more inspiring. And it's important we come together and build because it brings out the best in us,
It
you
does.
know? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I got to meet the Spin City and see his vision and see the land
Mm-hmm.
and see the community he's building with down
Mm-hmm.
there. That was inspiring,
Yep.
And it was a part of this 3-eye atlas thing, man. And and
Mm.
and I'm gonna just jump right into our reasoning if that's cool.
Yes.
Because it's a good segue. Because we're in the omniverse, right? We're in the omniverse, which is,
Mm-hmm.
all that is all. But
Right.
most of the omniverse is invisible. Most of the omniverse is invisible. You can't see it, right? The visible omniverse we call the cosmos.
Mm.
Okay. So any star you can see at night, or sun in the day, or anything you can see that's visible is called the cosmos, right? So the thing about stars, though, they're not randomly distributed throughout the cosmos. Stars congregate in communities that are called galaxies. Okay? And if you ask me, our ancestors used what we inherited today as modern Western astrology. We used it as galactic orientation, or our ability to find out where are we in the galaxy. You can put that image back up, man. So, because yeah. So now, these communities called galaxies, they have now this, not all galaxies have the same features, the same form, but most galaxies do. And we can like use our galaxy as an example of a typical galaxy. Okay. And again, we used to use, and when I say that, I'm speaking particularly of the Book of Enoch in Ethiopia and the different star studies like star maps and star glyphs that we could study out of the Nile Valley in ancient Egypt, particularly the zodiac addendum. We're going to get, we're going to look at them both, right? And relate it to what we know of as modern Western astrology, right? And help us reintroduce galactic orientation and God, what I would also term as God-centered astrology. And I'll get a little deeper into that.
God-centered.
Back into modern Western astrology. It didn't make it, we didn't inherit it fully yet. But 3i Atlas is inspiring ones like us to reintroduce it. And this is going to result in a new timeline in astrological studies. Yeah. In IRL, in real life. Give thanks. So now, when you look at the constellation Sagittarius, you're looking into the core of our galaxy. Most galaxies have a giant star in the center of them that is called the galactic core. Most Western astrologers call galactic cores black holes. It's not a hole. It's a star whose gravity is stronger than the speed of light. So not even light can escape its gravity. So it appears as a black hole.
Right.
The closer you get to that black hole, things become ultra relativistic, or the laws of relativity, the laws of space-time break down.
Right.
Okay? And we'll save the deepness of that for another reasoning. We can build on it. But we call that, particularly in the Book of Enoch, our ancients called that place the seventh heaven.
Seventh heaven.
And if you want to observe this place as an astronomer, it appears as a point of light because it has thousands of stars around it, right? But it's 26,000 light years away. So it appears as one point of light that we call Sagittarius A. It's at 26 degrees Sagittarius. So if you make a 180-degree turn and are now looking at the constellation Gemini and looking outside of our galaxy, what's called outer darkness, which is the omniverse or the cosmos that's beyond a galactic community, right? And we're actually closer to outer darkness within the galaxy than we are to our galactic core. We're actually 26,000 light years away. And that 26 is a part of why this year is, I think, what we're going to call a galactic year, where our awareness goes beyond solar system, goes beyond Oort cloud, goes beyond Pluto, goes beyond Neptune, which are kind of like the current bounds of our celestial awareness. Of course, we got the Webb telescope and the, you know, astronomers. Like I say, astronomers and astrophysicists are studying the cosmos beyond Pluto and Neptune and the Oort cloud. But what are astrologers doing? And this 3-eye atlas coming at the close of 25, at the beginning of 26. And I had started to mention the 26. 26 seems to be the galactic synchronization octave or number, meaning we study the Mayan calendar. It's based on a 260-day count, right?
Yes.
And like if you study the precession of the equinoxes out of the calendar of Kemet, it was a 26,000 year cycle, right? And all of these different counts, I won't call them calendars, but count of days, right?
Right.
That synchronize the earth movements to celestial cycles that aren't solar, aren't based on that 365 or 360 cycle, right? They end up usually being 2-6 something, 260, 26, 26,000, right? So here we are in 2026. And here comes 3-eye atlas, awaken us up to the reality we got to pay attention to the cosmic slop. You know, we got to do the cosmic slop out this piece. You know, we can't be ignoring the whole totality of the cosmos just because we have what you say foundational studies in the solar system, you know? So yeah. I think a big thing over 26 is what's gonna keep coming up is the question, where are we in the galaxy? It's gonna keep coming up in a lot of different ways. And 26 is gonna have a lot to do with the answers that come up with those questions, you know? So yeah.
Right.
Let's move on. All right. So here is what they call the zodiac of Dendera. This is considered one of the oldest astrological depictions using what using astrological symbols that modern Western astrology inherited. Was found in a relatively newer or renovated Egyptian temple at Dendera. It was like redone in Ptolemaic times,
Right.
which is, late in Egyptian history, you know,
Greco-Roman.
after the what, 20 something dynasty, Yeah. So it's not an ancient uh zodiac depiction if you want to look at Kemetic history in its totality, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it still shows us how the ancients used astrology. And it wasn't what we've inherited in the West today to,
Right.
predict someone's destiny or whatever. It was our
Mm-hmm.
galactic orientation and our ability to know, like, beyond what time it is, because we know time is really a part of
Relative.
space time,
Right.
that the fabric of space time is like you can't study space without factoring time, and you can't study time without factoring space
Space.
because it's
Right.
one fabric, you know.
Right.
So our use of astrology was like, where are we in space time?
Mm.
Wasn't just like, what time is it,
Mm-hmm.
right? It was, where are we in space time?
Right.
And our galactic orientation, or where are we in the galaxy? What I say was going to be a driving question for this year was, we say, how we figured out where are we in space time through our galactic orientation, right? And we had what we considered, or I guess what we could best term today, galactic portals, or within a circle, or, the celestial sphere. There were certain points in the cosmos, right? In the visible omniverse, where our connection to that seventh heaven, that galactic core, was
Right.
more powerful than whatever was emanating from the sun,
Mm.
right? And the Mayans account for that within their 260-day count, right? They say there's 20 galactic portals every 260 days, right? Like, built into their calendar, certain
Mm-hmm.
count, like every maybe 20 days, like 1 week it'll be 20 days, the next week it'll be 19, and then it builds down to 13 days, and it'll be like 10 galactic portals straight, you know?
Wow.
Or something like
Wow.
that. I don't
Right.
remember the exact science. I know I studied that a while ago. But the point is, that corresponds to how it appears the Egyptians and the Ethiopians galactically oriented themselves with about 20 galactic portals in space-time that they accounted for. And when we look at the zodiac of Dender, right, you'll see 12 netter or 12 glyphed beings, each holding up their arms, right?
Right.
A couple of them with their arms interlocking.
Right.
And these represent the 20 galactic portals we used to account for with, the zodiac within that. So that's showing that within these galactic portals was our solar system,
Right.
or what modern Western astrologers would make as a chart,
Right.
So I do think in modern Western astrology, this science has been preserved in, like we say, a bastardized version.
Mm-hmm.
And that is called the 16th harmonic.
Right.
Right. And I've only observed the 16th harmonic used one way. Not to say that there aren't other astrologers who use it in other ways or broader ways, right? This is the only way I observed. And it's interesting. It's tied in with this predictive market you're building on, right?
Right.
Because I met an astrologer. I'm not going to get all deep into how I met him, but it was mystical, right?
Right.
And he was like who he was like the Wall Street astrologer. Let's say you had big money and you were Wall Street, you speculating on Wall Street, right? And you wanted to use astrology to know what the orange crop was going to do. Should you invest in wheat or whatever, or take
Right.
out what them called when you take out a bet against a certain stock or whatever,
Yeah, you're gonna hedge against
the
something.
hedge, yeah.
The hedge.
So this guy was playing himself like the astrologer for Wall Street, right? And he had big
Big dog.
clients, he had
Big
big
dog.
clients. I mean, he
Yeah.
a big dude. Like, he ran with the astrologer of the nobility, Noel Till, who, like, if King Charles or the Queen of England or Ronald Reagan, Nancy
Right.
Reagan, who were they going to getting their insight into astrology? This man,
It's Noel.
Noel Till.
Noel Till. Okay.
All right. Y'all can look up this man, TYL, right?
TYL.
So
Okay.
this boy from Wall Street ran with Noel Till, right? And he used the 16th harmonic. Why? Because he was trying to predict God's will. His angle was of astrology, because astrology is kind of deep. You can go down all different kind of rabbit holes, right?
Right.
So his rabbit hole was to try to predict natural phenomena, natural disasters, what crops were going to do what, like how was nature and God's will going to play out in a given time, so he could speculate with that angle on Wall Street and guide his clients, right?
Right.
And I had met, like, this was decades ago. I met this dude. This was like in the 90s, right? And I hadn't really been studying that thing in a while. But here you go with these speculation markets. And here comes Three Eye Atlas telling us we got to be intergalactic in our astrological perspective.
Right.
So these galactic portals, the 16th harmonica. And so he used the 16th harmonic to try to predict God's will and speculation on the stock market. We're going to use the 16th harmonic to get meaning from Three Eye Atlas's recent transit through our solar system. Use it to get galactic orientation so we can figure out where we are in space-time and create a new timeline in the study of astrology, having us broaden our lens beyond Pluto. You with it?
Beyond Pluto. I like that.
Yeah. We beyond Pluto. All right. So you see the galactic portals expressed in the zodiac addendum right here.
Yes.
And I will like the graphic seems very small on my phone, so I can't read from it directly. But if I remember, we do identify the different galactic portals in what we would call the zoodisk or zodiac of modern Western astrology. Okay.
Facts.
So first you have to create what we would call, or what has been referenced as, the mutable cross. The mutable cross, we say the galactic core is at 26 degrees Sagittarius, right? So if we draw a 180-degree line straight from there, that takes us to 26 degrees Gemini. And if we make a 90-degree angle from that line, we end up at 26 degrees Pisces and 26 degrees Virgo, right? So that's the mutable cross. More than likely, that's the cross Jesus the fish man, like the astrological correspondence to the cross that Jesus the fish man is hung from, the mutable cross. Okay? Galactically speaking, it's the X that's created from our galactic core, like the galactic orientation, north, south, east, west, galactically, right?
Okay.
26 degrees Gemini, 26 degrees Sagittarius, 26 degrees Pisces, 26 degrees Virgo. Okay. Now, the other portals are created, 16 portals, other galactic portals, are every 22 and a half degrees. That's why it's called the 16th harmonic. Because if you divide 360, a full circle, by 22 and a half, is 16. So every 16 harmonic, every 22 and a half degrees is a galactic portal. Okay?
Crazy.
So all of the 0 degrees and 22 and a half degrees of cardinal signs are galactic portals. Okay? So like
Yes.
0 degrees Aries, 0 degrees Libra, 0 degrees Cancer, 0 degrees Capricorn, but also 22.5 degrees Aries, 22.5 degrees
Yes.
Libra, 22.5
Mm.
degrees Cancer, 22.5 degrees Capricorn, all the cardinals. 15 degrees of each fixed sign, right? So, you know, the middle point of each fixed sign, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. The midpoint of each of those signs, 15 degrees, is a galactic portal. Okay? And every 7.5 degrees of every mutable sign. Okay? So, mutable signs and cardinal signs have 2 galactic portals. Cardinal, because the 0 degree point, the 22.5 degree point are the galactic portals, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the mutable signs, the 7.5 degree point and the 26 degree point from that other mutable cross I was talking.
Mm.
Those are the, you know, 2 galactic portals. The fixed signs have 1, but it's like right in the heart, because, you know, each sign is 30 degrees, 15 degrees
Right.
is the midpoint of each sign. So it's like the, you know, power point of that sign is a galactic portal. Okay.
Right.
And these would, like, let's say, all right, so what does that mean? We'll get more into like the meaning of all those points. But we know how, like, you might meet someone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're very religious. They're very dogmatic. They go to church every Sunday. They, you know, they're kind of superstitious, right? But they're not in touch with their God self, right? They're not
Right.
in
Right.
touch with themselves or God, you know? But then you might meet someone who, you know, they might seem undisciplined. They might seem just like they don't even think twice about what they say or do, but they're in touch with themselves, right? More than
Mm-hmm.
likely, if you were to study their charts, the people who have that like innate in touchness with themselves, one or more of their planets, or one or more of their sensitive points, like their rising or their midheaven or nadir or something like that, is on a galactic portal.
Mm.
You know,
Interesting.
because these are the points in astrology where we say our direct and personal relationship with God and the God that's in us comes out, you know, because we know God
Right.
is in us, and we know God is in all dimensions of our life, right?
Right.
But astrology, modern Western astrology is weird as shit when it comes to God, right? They limit God. They say, all right, 2 houses kind of deal with the realm of God in man's life: the 9th house and the 12th house. House, all things Sagittarius. House, all things Pisces. Right? So Sagittarius represents that dimension of our spiritual life that we experience collectively, like church, synagogue, mosque, shared religious experiences, right? That's the 9th house. The 12th house is when we're in the quiet place, in the closet, door closed, in quietude, and experience our direct and personal relationship with the presence of God inside of us, you know?
Right.
That's usually the quietest, stillest voice in our inner self, right? That's why we got to go into quietude to have that inner communication, you know?
Right.
But the 12th house in modern Western astrology is a scary place. The 12th house in modern Western astrology is a scary place. Why? Because they say it's the house of all things beyond our control that influence our life. And so when people usually hear that, most people in the West, it makes them automatically fearful of the 12th house because they think things that are beyond our control is something to fear.
Right.
You know? Like, for example, you walking down the street and you see a pit bull unleashed. What's the pit bull going to do? Is it going to walk by you and ignore you? Or is it going to attack you? It's beyond your control. It's the will of the Most High.
Right.
Most people will experience paralyzing fear or a dramatic reaction seeing an unleashed pit bull walking down the street, you know?
Right.
So the 12th house is a scary place. A lot of our brothers, a lot of our community, they have to go to prison or the hospital or the asylum. These are all 12th house realms, you know?
Right.
The 12th house, though, is where we have our direct and personal relationship with God and the angels in modern Western astrology. Right?
Through the chaos. It would be that.
Yeah, I think because we're a Piscean people, the people here in the Atlantic in this time, right? Whatever you want to call yourself. This connection to the Caribbean and the Atlantic as a part of our legacy, you know, even going black pre-colonial, you know?
Right.
Going back to the days of the Moors and days of the Atlanteans and all of that, the Olmecs, and, you know, we're a Piscean people.
Right.
Well, however you want to identify nationally or culturally or ethnically, because that's your like bloodlines, historic connection to our dispensation over here, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But you know, in saying that, right, and bringing it
Mm-hmm.
forward to these times, I think a deeper study of Cat Williams when he broke that internet needs to be done by us
And
because
what degree?
he worked that 12th house magic.
Mm-hmm.
He's an example of how to get through the 12th house because the 12th house is also the house of opulence,
Mm.
right? And he told everybody, I live opulently. I wake up every day and have everything I
Right.
want, right?
Right.
Which is, and we define opulences because when we study the omniverse and the cosmos, abundance is a principle of creation.
It is.
There's always an abundance of whatever's been created, you know?
Right.
So, how that expresses itself in the dimension of humanity's opulence, you know, abundance. And that's because the 12th house is also what they say our father's house with many mansions.
Mm.
Because if you
That's
study
it.
12 numerologically, 12 is the first what they call abundant number. A numbers whose divisors equal more than itself. The divisors of 12 are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6, which equals 16. And 12 is the first number where it's divisors, the many mansions that make up our father's house, you know? So the 12th house. We're going to talk about more about the 12th house as we get deeper into looking at 2026, because the 12th house is active this year, you know? But in modern Western astrology, God is limited to the 12th house because God is beyond our
Mm.
control, but directly influences our life. That's what modern Western
Right.
astrology said. And so, outside of the 12th house, discussion of God is limited in modern Western astrology, right?
Mm-hmm.
And each house is 30 degrees. So, in a 360-degree circle, you're limiting God. You're not even having God in the discussion of 330 degrees, right? You're limiting your discussion of God to 30 degrees. And so it's studying these galactic portals where we can get a God-centered astrology. All right? So we had to give thanks for Three Eye Atlas for reawakening this ancient perspective for us. Yes,
For
I.
sure.
Next slide. All right. So I'm not going to get all super deep into the analysis of the book of Enoch, right? I hope this little bit of discussion on the book of Enoch will inspire y'all to read it for yourself, you know, and check it out for yourself. Don't believe what Rosben has to say about it, you know,
Mm.
but I'm going to say how not only was Enoch the first prophet, Enoch was the first astrologer. And the
Mm.
book of Enoch gives us the ancient perspective of the heavens in the clearest articulation that we can transfer from ancient scripture to modern language of astrophysics and astronomy and astrology. Okay.
So,
And so that's important. We got to we got to, we know the ancient prophets were also stargazers, right? The three magi found Yasu's house through studying the stars, right? So it was all connected. It was all one science. So we need to reawaken that anciency in our we can't allow this modern Western angle on it to limit our use of astrology, our study of the stars, and applying it to our life, which is what astrology is, right? So the Book of Enoch is saying all that, gives us the clearest articulation of how we viewed the ancient heavens. Okay? And Enoch says there were 7 heavens with 24 gates. So I'm not going to get all deep into the 24 gates tonight, because that gets into the realms of sidereal astrology and geocentric astrology. But it shows what I will say about 24 gates. Today, how we study astrology, right? There's a schism between what we could term modern Eastern astrology or sidereal astrology, star-centered astrology, and modern Western astrology, which we could say is geocentric or earth-centered, right? And I'm not going to get all deep into the schism, but just to say that if we study our ancient perspective of heaven, we use them both at the same, we say, as my brother RAS said, at the same damn time. We were both sidereal astrologers and geocentered. Just like, that's our macroscopic lens. Just like if we were scientists in the lab using microscopes and there are multiple lenses on one microscope, and depending on what microbe we're studying or what molecule we're studying, we would flip the lens to get a better perspective, right? On what we was looking at. It's the same, though, that's the 24 gates. We use them
right.
both, sidereal and geocentric,
Okay.
And we consider the heavens, the geocentered heavens. There were 3 of them. Our atmosphere, so we lived in the first heaven. The atmosphere was the first heaven. Second heaven was our ionosphere, which our orientation to the second heaven, right, was our orientation to the sun, which we determine most through our calculations of equinoxes and solstices. This is
Right.
why Earth-centered or geocentered astrologers use a lens of the heavens that sidereal astrologers can't understand, because geocentric astrologers say, oh, this is the house of Pisces, and it'll be different from where the constellation Pisces is visible by
Right.
constellation,
Right.
but they are not studying the 6th heaven, they're studying the 2nd heaven. Like I say, which is really determined by our electromagnetic relationship to the sun, the ionosphere, the magnetosphere of the second heaven. Third heaven is the lunar sphere, space between Earth and the moon.
And the lunar sphere, right.
And this is where Enoch, in the book of Enoch, he details lunar cycles and the lunar calendar.
Right.
Our latitude, that if you had a certain latitude, these are the particular lunar cycles you could expect. And it ties in with that 26 count we were talking about, how the lunar calendar is a 13 count. What's 13 times 2? 26, bang. So the whole galactic lunar calendar was tied in with galactic synchronization from an Enochian perspective,
Right.
So then the upper heavens were 4. One was the whole solar system, that's the 4th heaven. The 5th heaven was Sirius. Sirius seemed like the portal. Like if we wanted to get to the 7th
That's
heaven,
the 5th?
we had to go through the 5th, which was Sirius. And then we would travel through the Milky Way, which was the 6th heaven, and then the 7th heaven, the galactic core. And you can read the book of Enoch, because he went on a tour of the 7 heavens. So it's important to read the book of Enoch to see what he saw in each of the 7 heavens. When he was in the atmosphere, the 1st heaven, he saw the tree of life. He saw the tree of knowledge of good and evil. He saw mountains that sounded like the Rockies. Saw mountains that sounded like Appalachia. He saw a mountain, in New Jersey, right? There's a town in New Jersey, Franklin, New Jersey. So not be hoking. Franklin, New Jersey. Not far out of New York. You get out on Route 80 and go 45 minutes out of New York City. Yeah. There's a mountain. It's been mined out. It was a criminal act. The Union Carbide Corporation, when they started making batteries, they mined this mountain out of its ore, which has the geological name Franklinite. So they destroyed this mountain, right? But it's recognized as the most mineralogically diverse place on Earth. And it's also recognized as the fluorescent mineral capital of the Earth, meaning there's no other place on Earth you'll find as many specimens of crystals than in this one mountain.
Wow.
And you won't find as many different fluorescent crystals as you'll find in this one mountain. And
in New Jersey?
It's because if you shine, let's say it's nighttime, and you shine a light on this mountain, it glows different colors, 7 different colors. That mountain is described in the book of Enoch when he's flying through the atmosphere. Will not be hoking.
Wow.
Come on, man. So that's what I'm saying. We got to study the book of Enoch intensely. And if y'all think like I'm tripping, right?
Right.
You can go to my Rospin 188 channel, where these remote viewers approached me years ago.
I saw that.
Like, Rospin, Give us a target. We see you be studying the mounds. Give us a target to go study remotely. We want to see some deep shit, right?
Right.
So I gave them a target based on my studies of the Book of Enoch. And just watch that video. And I'm using it as an example to say I studied Enoch's tour of the heavens enough to be able to identify certain places on the planet that he saw and recorded. And one of them was in Lenape-Hogan, man. Come on. Franklin, New Jersey. The mineralogically diverse place on planet Earth.
Wow. Don't they have a gym show out there?
They do. They do.
Yeah.
California and I have taken some of the community out there.
I remember years ago.
And on the way, we hit the second largest waterfall east of the Mississippi after Niagara, which is in New Jersey. What? Come on now.
Come on, Jersey. Let's go.
And Lenape-Hogan.
Yeah. Lenape land.
Yeah. I'm gonna stop calling it Jersey. Lenape-Hogan. Salute.
Lenape.
What's the brother's name?
Turtle Gang.
Salute.
Yeah, salute Turtle Gang.
Yeah. Respect.
I need to bring him on the channel.
Yeah. So, the Book of Enoch, we got to study it. Because when Enoch gets to the seventh heaven, what does he see? He sees a lot of shit, but what stands out, one of the things stands out the most, he sees what he calls his antecedent inheritance. In other words, he sees himself. Beginning of himself, his antecedent, and his inheritance, where he's going to return. In other words, we're learning we live in a quantum reality, right? We're learning that we're the real us, the real red pill, the real RAS spin. We're somewhere that's ultra relativistic outside of the laws of relativity, projecting our consciousness into the fabric of space-time, doing the cosmic slop. Right? Isn't that what we're learning?
Yep. So many
where
ways.
Is that place that where our quantum self is projecting into this reality? It's the seventh heaven. And Enoch already reveals to us what we're experiencing now, this quantum awakening, right?
Right.
It's really what we say, Christian religion. This, if you don't know the teachings of the first prophet, what they call Christianity won't make sense.
Right.
The Most High, the omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent one, omniscience of the omniverse, having direct and personal influence on what's unfolding here on Earth, how the macrocosmic awareness is going to touch the microcosmic reality. And how does all that tie into what modern science is teaching us about the ultimate nature of reality? This quantum reality we're living in. How does all this come together? You won't know if you don't study Enoch and really study what he saw in the seventh heaven. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope I didn't get off on a tangent.
Nah, you did not. Don't do that. You good. You gooch right now. You're going great. So we
All right,
learning. We
so
learning.
give
You
thanks.
know. Yes.
All right, so all
Real
right.
quick, can you
Yeah,
break down what clusters? Can you break down what clusters are?
break down with what is?
Clusters.
What do you
Star
mean?
clusters. Just star clusters. When you were talking about, when you were breaking down earlier, what a
All right.
galaxy is and all of
Yeah,
these.
yeah, yeah. So I think what you're referring to as a star cluster would be a community of stars,
Yeah.
right? So we know we're in the omniverse, right?
Yes.
Well, I guess, some might limit to a universe. Universe means one word, uni and verse, right?
Right.
I like the etymology of omniverse,
Omniverse.
right?
Yes.
Because omni is the all,
Yes. We're all
right?
right.
All encompassing, right? So within the omniverse, most of what is makes up the omniverse, it's invisible to us. We can't see it.
Right.
It's what Western astrologers and astrophysicists and astronomers call dark
Dark
matter,
magic. Yeah. Dark. Yeah.
you know, fabric of space-time. They give it all these different names, other dimensions, you know.
Right.
They term it all these other concepts, but it's really the what we would our ancestors call the infinite, unknowable, undefining,
Belief.
undefinable, omniversal awareness, universal
Mm-hmm.
awareness, you know?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And most of it's invisible,
Right.
okay? And even beyond measure.
Mm.
I guess that's important too, meaning Western scientists can't even measure most of the omniverse,
Most of it. Right.
right?
So unknown.
So within that omniverse is what we would call the cosmos. And
Right.
what the cosmos is the visible
Visible.
universe.
Right.
Okay. So a galaxy is part of the cosmos. Stars are part of the cosmos. Planets, part of the cosmos, because we can see them, right?
Right.
But within the cosmos, stars aren't randomly distributed.
Right.
Stars congregate in communities that we call galaxies.
Okay.
Within certain galaxies, and we live in the Milky Way, what we call the Milky Way
Milky
galaxy,
Way.
right? Within galaxies, there are like star clusters or tighter communities of stars within that galactic community, right? I think one we can see is the Pleiades. There's 7 stars closely aligned, you know? So they're clusters of stars spread throughout our galaxy, with tighter communities, because I even think in the Orion constellation, there is a stellar nursery, a place where the way the gravity is moving in this area, and the abundance of gas, hydrogen, right?
Right.
Stars are born out of this area, and it's called a stellar nursery.
The stellar
And
nursery.
there's a uh, tight community of stars there. And so that might be a cluster of stars within our galaxy also.
Thank you, my brother.
Yeah. It's fun getting intergalactic.
Very,
All
very
right,
fun.
let's go to the next slide, man. Ain't gonna hold these people all night. All right. So yeah, this is basically a summation of what I've been sharing. That galactic astrology is God-centered astrology. These portals, because we know God is not limited to 30 degrees of our life, our sphere of life, our sphere of,
Right.
who we are, our circle of life. God's
Right.
in all 360 degrees,
Everywhere.
all 12 of the houses. And these galactic portals are ways that we can see how the omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient one expresses itself within the other parts of our sphere of influence, And we have to give thanks for 3-Eye Atlas for reawakening this perspective within us. So I think that's a good summation of that reason. Next slide. All right, so let's look at, these are some keywords we can associate with the different galactic portals, right? So that
Right.
26-degree portal,
Sad. Yeah.
26 degrees Sagittarius, seventh heaven. We can attach keywords like Merkaba, Ra's Arc of a Million Years, the Divine Throne Chariot of the Most High,
Right.
you know,
Yo.
the seat of the Ancient of Days, and the Holy of Holies. We can associate those type of keywords to it, right?
This is
Let's look.
crazy.
I like to look. One of my favorite to study, to like really get it within us, is the 7.5 degrees Virgo, right? Because we've heard the saying cleanliness is next to godliness, right? And we know Virgo is associated with the order we have, the whole idea of the cleanliness is next to godliness has a lot to do with the Virgo energy, right?
Right.
What's your relationship to that whole principle of cleanliness next to godliness? Well, where's that 7.5 degree galactic portal of Virgo in your chart? Is it active or inactive? Is something opposing it? Is something squaring it? Give you insight, right? So the galactic portals of Aries, we could say, deal with being appointed and anointed, right? Standing up to your whole vision of, like, I think you call it your hero self. The reasons I've heard built into some of your musical productions, uh, dealing with the superhero animation you grew up in, superhero iconography, and how that awakened the superhero within you, like the appointed and anointed part of yourself that's going to stand up and fulfill your holy divine mission. It's
Yes.
Aries, you know. So you get it. You know, there's keywords for each of the galactic portals. And again, that's the 0 and the 22 and a half degrees of all the cardinal signs, the 15 degree of all the fixed signs, and the seven
Yeah.
and a half degrees of all the mutable signs, right? And
This
then
is
you have
fire.
the mutable cross made by the 26th degree of Sagittarius, which is the galactic core, 26 degrees Gemini, which would really be the portal of outer darkness. If you really get into the study of the 26 degree Gemini, they get you all into that. Like, I think that star is Aldebaran. And that is the star, like, if you study them Nazis and all that stuff that was depicted in Hellboy, right? Where there were certain scientists trying to open up certain portals or gates to hell,
Right.
right?
Right.
And even the beings that, when they depicted the portals that these beings were attempting to
Come.
use to get through, they
Right.
were cosmic beings in outer darkness, weren't they? Remember?
Yeah,
They
I
were
do remember.
cosmic beings in outer darkness that were floating around in space.
Shoot.
And if the
Look,
Nazis
look,
would have
look,
had to
look.
open the door, these beings would have got in. On
Yo,
the
bro.
Hellboy, go back and study that. They
Even
were
with
dealing with that
strangers.
26 portal, 26 degrees Gemini,
Mhm.
the portal to outer darkness. I'm going to tell you who else worked with that star a lot. Ben Franklin. When you study what's called the Franklin chart of the United States,
Right.
that's what where they say Ben Franklin insisted on signage of the Declaration of Independence at 2:13 in the morning on July
Right.
4th. If you do a chart for that day, 1776, Aldebaran is on the rising, 7.5
Right.
degrees Gemini.
Hold
And
on.
yeah, tapping that portal to outer darkness.
Because you got the
So
Ben Franklin Bridge or the Parkway.
I didn't hear you.
You got the Ben Franklin Parkway in
Yeah, with the
Philadelphia.
gates of hell. Yeah. I mean, this is Ben
And it leads
Franklin
right,
was
right,
about
and it leads to the
opening
gates
the
of hell.
gates of hell. That was his thing.
Right. I don't think people never even know that. They don't, you know what I mean? That might be something new. I don't think they even know about that. People don't even know that there's a literal gates of hell in Philadelphia, right off of the Ben Franklin Parkway next to City Hall.
Oh, yeah. Well, this goes into the roots of one of the keys Ben Franklin was using to open the gates of hell. He studied these 16 galactic portals. Okay.
I'm glad you brought this up. This chart right
Yeah.
here
There's meaning
is a this
to what
this is a this
Franklin
is
was
a cheat
doing,
code.
pulling the,
You know what this is like?
I didn't hear
You know
you.
what this chart reminds me of?
What's that?
This chart is like a GPS to the gods. You giving us all of the portals to go back through. You're giving us gates. You're giving us literal literal portals in the galaxy, bro. Doors and whatnot. These are straight doors.
Yeah. Yo, we have to thanks for
So
your
you know what
efforts.
comes to mind? The TV show Stranger Things is coming. The TV show Stranger Things is coming to mind. I'm gonna take the chart back real quick, right here, where you see this chart right here, with the galactic pole, the galaxy, and the galactic core and everything.
Yes.
In Stranger Things, in this season, they revealed the upside down world, Dimension X. The chart similar is almost like that. Then they had the outer bounds on the left and the right. So I gotta go and juxtapose the two and see how they were lining it up. But when I think about Stranger Things, I'm thinking about the outer darkness, right? They were tapping into the outer darkness. They were going into
This
these
is their
right,
if you study the
and
ultimate
right, and they were talking about there
manipulators.
were gates. Yeah, they were talking about there were gates in Hawkins, and they were going to open up the gates. They were going through these gates, and they were going in other dimensions. Crazy, bro. But let's
Yeah,
keep
if you
cooking.
study the ultimate manipulators of time and space, right? They use these galactic portals, particularly 7.5 degrees Gemini, Aldebaran, which is the fixed star Aldebaran. If you want to study more about the keyword meanings attached to several of these galactic portals, you can, research the 16th harmonic, right? But you can
Got that.
also study the realm that they call fixed stars, which
Okay.
is they've applied keyword meaning to many of the key stars in the constellations of the zodiac, right? So, for example, the star Regulus, which is the brightest star in Leo, has been given the keywords like associated with kingship and rulership, nobility, right? So many of the big stars in the zodiac have been given keywords, right?
Right.
So one of the brightest stars in Gemini is Aldebaran, which I think is
Aldebaran.
translates, it's an Arabic word. If I'm going purely on memory, so don't quote me on this, but definitely research it and follow up. If I remember
Right.
correctly, it means the bullseye, Aldebaran. In Arabic, it means the bullseye.
Rosh, you going in, bro. You going to
Man, we
fuck
just
in
having
on
fun on New
111.
Year's with the
Man,
KTL
bro.
community.
Family, if this how 2026 is starting off, god damn
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. No
We
other
we
way.
got we got we got a Drake Rico and we got you going in on the galactic core. God damn it, bro.
Uh,
What a
All
day.
right.
What a day.
And on the flip note, the galactic portals of Sagittarius, those are heaven's gates. Those are the
Mm.
seventh heaven. That was in our galactic orientation. If we wanted to get to heaven's gates, the pearly gates, and into the seventh heaven, we was flying towards Sagittarius. We just had a very long voyage because we're
Mm.
closer to outer darkness
Then the
than we are
core.
to the galactic, to the seventh heaven.
We
Yeah, yeah,
closer
yeah.
to outer dark. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. All right. You
Yeah,
want me to
yeah,
go to the
yeah.
next guy?
Within our galactic community, we're closer to outer darkness. We are.
Mm. I
And
love it.
and what's anchoring us to our galactic community? The Sirius star system,
Right. Both the
particularly
visible
Sirius
and
B.
the invisible, the dwarf.
Yes, the dwarf. Yes,
Mm.
yes.
Mm.
That's what's anchoring our solar system to our galaxy.
Fire.
All right, let's go forward, brethren. We ain't gonna keep them here all
We
night.
look,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah,
So
yeah,
now
yeah. We here. This the big boy
let's
right here.
talk about our galactic orientation in terms of 3-eye atlas. Okay? Because if we take that perspective, that looking in Sagittarius, particularly the latter degrees of Sagittarius, around 26 degrees, right? We're looking at the seventh heaven, the core of our galaxy. And if we look at the 7.5 degree of Sagittarius, that's a
Okay.
galactic portal whose
Okay.
keywords are the gates of heaven, right?
Mm. Okay.
What if
see
I
it.
told you that's where 3i Atlas came from?
So
It
you're
was
telling
coming
me,
from the direction of the later degrees of Sagittarius, and it was first observed
July
coming through the
1st.
gates of heaven. The early degrees of Sagittarius, particularly 7.5 degrees, right? So it can't, that's, and this is a chart for the day was first observed.
Right, which
Okay.
I
So
have
when
to
3i
say, hold
Atlas
on.
first came into humanity's awareness.
Hold on. Which was 3 days after Stone Mountain.
Yes.
June
3 days
the
after you,
28th. Yes, when we said
3 days
Atlanta is
after y'all
Atlantis.
said, hey, we want to be galactic. We up here where the clan got us doing the cosmic slop out this month. We want
What
to
are
get
we talking
intergalactic.
about? What are we
And then 3 days later, here come 3i.
out of seventh heaven?
From the seventh heaven, first observed.
Hold on. Mind you, this is not in the almanac. This was not something that was forecasted. This was not
Nah.
something that's supposed to, you know how they could forecast an eclipse and all of this? The third 3i Atlas is an anomaly. It was not forecasted. It came out of nowhere.
Yes, literally. Came out of nowhere. Came out of the
So right after
cosmos.
Stone Mountain, right after we start causing
Yeah.
floods and all of that.
So
Let's go.
now, this is I'm embarrassed. I used to consider my graphics tight, but
That shit tight right there.
seeing how ones make graphics with the AI and, you know, moving and shit nowadays, I'd be embarrassed with my graphics now, but work with me, okay?
Nah, that's a poster right there. Stop that. This is a poster. This right here is a tattoo. There's somebody that tatted on their face. But
All
let's
right,
go.
well, give thanks. Give thanks. But so, you know, 3i Atlas moved retrograde through our system, okay? So this depiction of its trajectory starts at the bottom and ends at the top, okay? So it was first observed coming from the seventh heaven area of our perspective of the galaxy, right? The core of the galaxy, Sagittarius A, and was first observed by us, first came into our awareness, entering through the galactic portal that keywords we would associate with it would be the gates of heaven, the early degrees of Sagittarius, okay? And we all know the astronomical anomalies that have been associated with it. That, like, I think you termed it, it took the scenic route through our solar system. I love that
Checking
because,
everything
right,
out.
its trajectory was on our ecliptic, on our, like, there's one plane that it appears like one plane of centrifugal force of our sun. Most of our planets orbit around this plane. And 3i Atlas flew into our solar system on that plane. Wow. That's, you know, they say that the odds of that happening randomly, right, is almost incalculable. You know, you had better chance hitting that lotto, that $1 billion lotto the other week, other
Right.
strong. You had more chance
Right.
hitting that jump than 3i Atlas just flying in on our ecliptic randomly, you know?
Right.
So,
Through the seventh heaven.
Huh? From the seventh heaven through the
From the
gates of
seventh
heaven.
heaven, out of all, from all places.
Come on
like,
now. Come on now. And
Yes.
one of, like, there were a whole lot of other anomalies with it, right? One that I think is most important for us to meditate on and reflect on is, okay, when it flew in, right? The astrophysicists were studying it as best as they could, right?
Right.
And they said it was composed of iron and titanium, or iron and
Not nickel.
nickel. Yeah. Iron and nickel. Thank you. I think it has some titanium too.
Right.
But the point is that the iron that it had in it was not magnetized, right? And when it reached perihelion, or its closest point to the sun, it got hit with a celestial mass ejection, or CME, right? Solar mass ejection. And, the way, magnets aren't really natural. The way we know ferromagnetism, where you got a piece of magnet that'll stick to the refrigerator, or,
Right. How
stick to
those are
anything.
created.
That's not
Right.
natural.
Those are created.
Those are created. And the way they create it is they heat up iron, make it molten, right? And then they run an electric charge through the iron, which makes all of the molecules of that iron align a certain way, right?
Right.
And then they freeze the iron. So all those molecules will stay aligned. 3i Atlas went through that process naturally on its perihelion, or closest approach to the sun. So it got magnetized. So it essentially became a giant flying magnet
God damn.
after its perihelion. And where did it go after its perihelion? At its closest flyby to Earth, And it was at that time where I don't know if that's YouTube playing tricks on me, but it seems like a lot of people are like, yeah, where are we in space time? And like doing what we've been doing for years, right? Having fun at the beginning of these calendares, right? Just, having fun, looking at the stars and getting a vision for things we might experience. It seemed like a lot of people are on that this year. And it seems like a lot of people are feeling something and going through something cosmically, There's a change going on inside of all of humanity, but it's different for every single one. It's kind of weird,
It's from the molecular, it's going molecular and above, man.
Yeah, it's quantum, it's cosmic. What the hell do we know?
Quantum molecular.
But something is happening, and here's 3i Atlas, this giant magnet flying through our lunar sphere and our solar sphere, our third and fourth heaven, coming from a Monarchian perspective, we could say it came from the seventh heaven, flew through the fourth heaven, on its way to the fifth heaven. Serious, because what? It's leaving out of our solar system in the mid 2030s. So it's in March of 26. It's going to have its closest flyby to Jupiter. And Jupiter's magnetic field has a lot of influence on Earth. You know, Jupiter being the biggest planet. And this is Jupiter's day, right? Third Eye Thursday.
Right.
Right? So a giant magnet is flying by Jupiter in March of 26. And this giant magnet's actually going to be in our solar system or within the limits of Neptune through the mid 2030s. But where it's the direction we think its trajectory is going to take it is out of our solar system in the direction of Cancer. And what fixed star is at the degree of 13, 14 degrees Cancer? Sirius.
Bomba Clyde.
So from an Enochian perspective, we could say it flew from the seventh heaven through the gates of heaven, got magnetized, right? And is flying through the fourth heaven, got magnetized, flying to the fifth heaven, which is Sirius, right? And flying out of the constellation Cancer. We know Cancer is associated with the womb and the birthing canal.
Facts.
And the exit of a fertilized new life, right? And what do we say 3-Eye Atlas did? It flew in here and got fertilized, got magnetized, got energized. And it's what? Exiting our solar system like a fertilized embryo out of Cancer. Come on now. So we got a whole lot of meaning. We got a whole lot of meaning. Looking at 3-Eye Atlas from our ancient perspectives, shared with us from Enoch and the Zodiac Addendera and these galactic portals. And
this is a birthing ritual.
We use this, if we don't just say, oh, 3-Eye Atlas came and went, and use this intergalactic reawakening as an opportunity to create a new timeline in the study of astrology. Yeah. We're right on time. We're in the flow of space-time. And that's what the sharing is about. So I think that's the fullness of that.
Lord have mercy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't
hear you.
No, I said to the audience, to the ladies and gentlemen in the audience, I definitely need y'all at this point to cover your ears.
Yeah. We're having fun in New Year's. We gotta bring 26 in right. This is only proper, Brethren. This is what we call right on time.
Right on time.
Where are we in the galaxy?
To this day.
By the end of this year, we're gonna have to have some answers to that.
That's an honorable question.
Yeah.
That's an honorable question to be posed to all of the master teachers. I think that this lesson right here, void of the ego that some of the teachers may have, they should all receive this. We should I'll make it my business to reach out to all of my KTL All-Stars and make sure that this reading, this reasoning right here is something that they add to their lessons, because you laid it out and you put you put the chart for third eye atlas, which, as you demonstrated, will be in our atmosphere to the mid 2030s. So we're literally just in the beginning of the movies, ladies and gentlemen.
We just in the beginning. Yeah. Giant magnets flying through our solar system and
giant magnet.
Yeah. I mean, We're on a new timeline, as you said. So we gotta know where we are in space time, in the galaxy, and we on time in divine space, doing
Straight like
these
that.
fun divine holy works on purpose. Yeah.
That's
KTL
right.
and the
In alignment.
ATL. What?
What a time to be
Mm.
aligned. Brett. What a time to be aligned. And
Yeah. What a time to be alive. You're right.
no, what a
Mm.
time to be aligned. What a time to be aligned. You know what I mean? Because
I
being
agree.
alive, that ain't even enough. It's people
Uh,
alive don't know nothing what's going on. They're like, what's happening? They
yeah, they
they are being,
existing. Yeah, you're right. You're
yeah,
right.
like
You're right.
it would
We gotta
suck to be asleep
we
right
gotta
now.
know where we are in the galaxy.
Right. They're being robbed of the power of the moment. They could have been presently present and literally just been charged up just with the truth of the present. So yeah, what a time to be aligned. I feel that those that are in alignment are some of the people who are in control of more than they even know. I want to know if there are any questions in the audience, from the ladies and gentlemen in the audience. We want to know. We're going to
Yes.
field
Yeah,
about
before
two
we
to
move
three
forward.
questions
Yes.
before we move forward. And then we got a big announcement to make. And then we got a world premiere for some new music and whatnot. So please, ladies and gentlemen, um, ask a question and we will get it answered promptly. For sure, for sure. And there's a little delay, so I'm being patient. You know. So right
Yeah, now
before
we'll say
New
while we're
Diamond,
waiting for
shout out to
questions
New
that
Diamonds. Have you met New Diamond before, Ross?
huh?
Have you had the opportunity to meet our sister New Diamond?
No.
Okay.
Who is she?
She is she's a goddess. She came to Kate she came to the ATL for the Stone Mountain reasoning and whatnot when we had the gathering. She gets busy with the stars as well. And she said right before the new moon and the spring equinox as well, this is gonna be so powerful, March 2026. So
Hmm.
yeah, we're gonna prepare for that date that you brought up in March. Did you say it was the what date in March where is gonna hit Jupiter? It's gonna pass Jupiter?
Yeah, it was I think it is in March 2026, March or April. Three
I believe
Atlas
so.
will.
You got my eye on that 26 hard body now. So I'm gonna be cooking that 26 up now that
It's
you put
26
it
is
in alignment.
galactic frequency.
Boy, oh boy, you got me lit right now with that
Yeah.
number.
And I tell you, I had a synchromistic experience in the ATL because uh I was like out front uh just decompressing, and the sister Winter, oh my gosh, we gotta
Yeah.
promote her thing.
Yeah, shout out to Winter and her
Yeah,
pieces and whatnot.
yeah. What?
Master jeweler.
She was out there reasoning. I ain't mean to be the fly on the wall, but she was out there reasoning on the 26th, and
Yeah.
it being the galactic frequency. And this was before I shared,
Right.
right? And I'm not, it was like I came in the middle of her reasoning. So I'm not sure what inspired it. The
Right.
fact that it was the year 2026, but she was reasoning with your brethren too. What's that good brethren's name?
G host.
Huh?
Is that G host? The God
Yes.
Ghost?
Yes,
Yes,
Ghost.
yes, yes.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
It was
Shout out to
Ghost
Ghost.
and Winter reasoning on the 26th. Oh my gosh. It was so deep to hear
Hmm.
be the fly on the wall and to hear these intergalactic cosmic beings talking on the 26th, right before the reasoning. on galactic synchronization and knowing where are we in the galaxy. You know? Yeah.
This now that you brought up these portals, Ross, you got me observing the days where people make transition with more scrutiny now. Because now
Mm.
I'm looking at deaths as an exit through the portal, through the gates, especially the way that you lining it up with the, with these specific dates and what with these degrees. And then when you say
Yes.
gates and you say doors, I'm like, I've always, my Scorpio mind, of course, I've always had this infatuation, like, damn, people going in threes. Uh, some of our master teachers, especially when the master teachers left in 2020 with Baba Kalindi, um,
Right.
Kevin Muhammad,
Right.
Dr. Africa. And then it was like four master martial artists. They all
Right.
left back to back to back to back. So I was like, what portal are they going through? Like, what's
Mm.
happening? Because this is not
Mm.
regular. They're not they're graduating. They're not because at some point we have to change our language, ladies and gentlemen. When you pass, when you're 18 and something happens, it's different than when you're 80 and
That's
you make
true.
transition.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's a complete different cycle that we're speaking of. So we have to put that into perspective. Some of these elders are literally tapping out and taking that trip that they're tapping in. They're walking through
Mm.
these gates and these
Mm.
portals. So I'm going to do more research. The theory is forming. I just want to put it out there. Somebody in the audience said, what does Ross Ben think about Scorpio this year?
Mm. Well, can we let's read, we're about to go into reasoning on 26. And let's hold that question in the pocket till we get into that, all right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we have a big transition out of two important planets out of the water trying into the fire. And that's Saturn and Neptune both. And we're going to talk about that. I even think next slide. Can we go there?
Yes, we can.
What does that say? Yeah, players on the prophetic stage, 26, Saturn and Neptune in the 12th house. So now, I didn't review, you know how we've been starting the year doing reviews.
Yes.
And we did do an online review, but I didn't build the review into my reasoning this year. I built in a discussion on 3R apps,
Yes, you
right?
did.
But one thing I will say is that when we look at the chart for 26, and we did get into some of the techniques on how we look at the charts
Hold on.
and the
I'm sorry to
sharing,
cut your wisdom.
but we're gonna skip past that tonight, you know. But when we just work with me, this is the chart of 26. This is what we've been playing with each year, you know. We ain't gonna get into the hows. But when we look at the chart of 26, the past, if we go back to like the charts of 24 and 25, right? There were these players on the prophetic stage, Saturn and Neptune, both in Pisces, both in the 12th house. Okay, Saturn is Father Time. So Father Time was in our Father's house of many mansions. Wow. Okay. That's like end times, you know? The 12th house is, you know, after the 12th house, you're back at the first. It's the last house. Saturn is Father Time. So it's like, Father Time in the house, in our father's house, a mini mansion.
This chart is
And
cold.
then, they demoted Pluto, right? They took astronomers and astrophysicists said, hey, there are moons that are bigger than Pluto. And Pluto is just really a trans-Neptunian object. It's not really a planet. It's a planetoid, right?
Right.
So the planet, I still work with Pluto in astrology though, right? And I look at Pluto as like how ones might look at the principle of homeopathy,
Mm.
where we know if you study homeopathy, right,
Right.
the less of a substance, the less, and actually the energy of the substance, right? The less you have of that, the more profound the influence, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how homeopathy works. And so Pluto represents the principle of homeopathy and astrology. The less it's yeah, okay, it's a trans-Neptunian object. It's not a planet, whatever. Y'all want to demote it. There's moons. Our moon is bigger than Pluto, and there are other moons in our solar
Right.
system bigger than it. And okay, I'm with all
Right.
that. But still, astrologically, if you study it, it appears to have influence in human affairs, in its movement cyclically, right? It's worth studying. But
Definitely.
given that, right, they say Neptune is the furthest out planet and has the longest celestial cycle of 168 years to come full
Right.
circle, right? Neptune this year is going to mark what we would call the curtain call for the prophetic stage, because both Neptune and Saturn are going to move out of Pisces this year, the 12th house, the 12th sign, into Aries, the first house and the first sign. And as a matter of fact, Neptune, the slowest moving planet, is going to start the year at the 359th degree of the full
Mm.
circle of the Zodiac. So we know a full circle is 360 degrees, right?
Right.
So the 359th degree is the last degree full circle, right? So the 29th degree of Pisces is the 359th degree of the complete zodiac. And that's where the slowest moving planet is starting the year. So one, which I think fun way for us to really see what that would apply to in our lives, is we have to go back intergenerationally, back 168 years. So my math is bad. I tried to do this math. Let's see, 100 years back would be 1925, then minus another 68. 25 minus 60 would be 1885. No, that's 40 years. So
I got one
1865.
1957.
Huh?
I got
Huh?
1857. I got 1857.
There
Let
you
me see.
go. That sounds right. So
Okay.
find out in your genealogical research who in your bloodlines, who in your family trees was alive in the 1850s, 1857, right? And what were they doing? What were they in the Great Migration? Were they what side of the Civil War were they on?
Right.
Uh, you know, find out what they were doing. Were they selling their land and moving up north? What decisions were they making? Because whatever cycle they were putting in motion, you're gonna bring full circle
Mm.
early next year.
Mm.
Holy cow.
That's
Something tells me
crazy.
that's gonna be fulfilling and fun research
Yeah.
that if you
I
do
got a
that. Huh?
I got another question for you.
Yes.
They said I would love to hear the master brother speak on the C notes underground rivers, that's underground river in Mexico, and the relation to Stargate portals, vortexes, and Third Eye Atlas.
Mm. Wow. Yeah. I would like to research that
All right.
and then come forward with a reason.
All
But
right.
I'm sure there are inner earth portals to the cosmos, right? That our ancestors tapped. And I'm sure water has a lot to do with Stargate technology, right?
Mhm. Right.
And more than likely, they all come together in something like them cenotes, particularly in the Americas, because even though Africa is important and there's a lot of portals over there, particularly in the Congo and the Niger and the Nile, shoot, the river
Mhm.
basins, you know, have a lot of portals. But
Ethiopia.
I know in the Americas, where the ancients say, hey, if you want to get to the underworld, if you want to get to Amenta, right? You had to go to the west. You had to go to the land of the setting sun, you know?
Mhm.
So,
Super facts.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hmm. Super facts.
But
So,
beyond that,
mhm.
I'd want to research like why. What you say, KTL, they stimulated my curiosity. I know what rabbit hole I got to go down, you know?
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, just the notes that I took alone tonight is gonna take me down the galactic core. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Um,
mm, mm. Hey, and I will say, right? The Book of Enoch, not only did he go on a tour of the seven heavens, he
yes.
went on a tour of the seven hells. And so
Mhm. He wrote about that
that
too.
question's gonna give me a lens through that I'm gonna go back and research, you know? Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I
Dope.
do just generally recall Enoch saw a lot of fiery scenes, but it would be interesting to see if on Enoch's tour of the seven hells he saw watery scenes and what was
Right,
happening in the waters. So
right. Nah,
I'm gonna do
I'm
that
going
raw
in.
search.
Going in. I'm
Yeah,
going
yeah,
in.
yeah. Let's go ahead, Brethren. If there are no more questions.
So I
Oh,
think
hold up. Yeah, so I think I reasoned on this.
okay.
Actually go is this the curtain call on the prophetic stage? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
It's
Neptune,
a
huh?
nah, there's more than one slide with the curtain call. There's it's like three of them as you emphasize. You see how you highlighted these different,
Right.
you know what I mean? The
Okay. So
chart.
now,
You're highlighting the chart.
right. So now, there's three things to be aware of. Neptune is on that 359th degree, a reason on that. And Neptune's going to transition into Aries. And that's going to, bring to close that long cycle I was talking about. That do your genealogy, do your ancestries, look through your bloodline, and find out what were them ones doing last time Neptune was about to start this cycle,
Right.
because you're going to be bringing it full circle in
You closing
26.
it out.
Holy cow.
Ah, you closing it out.
Yeah, yeah,
Look,
yeah. Don't take
we
that
might
for
have to do
granted. Do
a.
that research. I think you'll find it rewarding. You'll give thanks. That was a part of your year this year of doing
I
that.
would.
It'll be like holy cow, you
Right,
know?
right. Can I
Yeah,
make a
yeah, yeah.
request?
All
Can I make a
right. So,
request?
huh?
Can I make a request?
Please.
I want to make a request that one of your first shows that we do on this on KTL
Yes.
for 2026. I
Yes.
want Crumble and Rumble. I want Crumble and Rumble as their own. The same way that we did the Third Eye Atlas tonight and broke that down. I would
Yes.
definitely want a reason for that Crumble and Rumble because
Uh,
this is deep. You go in on this, but I
yeah,
remember
we're
when
going
we
to
did this.
we getting into this year,
Yeah,
but to kind of like tie it into what we've been experiencing since 24, right? Which was
yes,
we named 24 and 25. If we want to give them years names, they were the prophetic
prophetic
stage.
stage. Yes,
So
24 and
26
25
is
is the
curtain
prophetic
call.
stage.
What's that gonna mean? Mm, mm, mm.
Hmm.
Both of
Talk
the
about it.
players of the stage, prophetic stage, the key players, where we did build on this in our earlier review, where
Right,
we say the mundane was going to become prophetic. You was going to go to the supermarket and experience prophecy being fulfilled or prophetic visions unfolding in
right,
mundane experiences, right? And if you didn't have some depth of awareness of prophecy, there were going to be things occurring that if you use the Western media as your information source, you were going to be utterly confused. You was going to be
mm,
like, what the hell am I observing? The Charlie Kirk, the Candace Owens, the Is It Real, the Netanyahu, the Trump, the evangelicals,
right,
the Christian Muslim Jew play out on an international stage.
right.
Uh, you know, if you didn't have some root in prophecy, you're just gonna be confused.
Cooked.
And yeah, yeah, yeah. It's curtain call this year. What's that gonna mean? The
Mm,
players that were putting all of that in place
right.
is transitioning. So does that
Interesting.
mean prophecy, the original prophecy is going to be revealed? Or is this false prophecy going to keep playing out? What timeline are we going to end up on?
Right.
Prophetic timeline. Mm.
And what
This
role could
year,
we play in shifting that timeline? Is there a role that we could play in shifting that timeline to make it the timeline that favors us? Is there a role that we can play?
well, there, okay. When as a student of prophecy, as a 40-year student of prophecy, we've seen that there's 4 nefarious ways you can manipulate a timeline. You're not going. That's not answering your question now. There's only one beneficent
It's
way.
all right. So let's do the one benevolent or beneficent way, or how do we can manipulate?
Redemption, redeeming your bloodline, brethren. It's
Let's
just
talk
that
about it.
simple.
That's right. Let's
If
talk
you
about that.
redeem your blood, and when we say redeem, right? And
Hmm.
redemption, what are we talking about? When you have a coupon, what do you do with a coupon? You redeem it,
You redeem it.
right?
Yes.
And what is the redemption of a coupon? You're getting its value back.
Value back. Yes.
You're getting its value back. So we have to restore the value of our bloodlines.
Mm.
Meaning, if we want to benevolently fulfill prophecy, we got the right to wrongs. What's your song? Coming like Voltron, righting our
Yeah, I gotta
wrongs.
right my wrong. Yeah, you gotta right your wrongs. You gotta right your
We got to
wrongs.
right the wrongs, not only of ourselves, but our ancestors in one
Ooh,
lifetime.
ooh,
We got to
ooh.
right the wrongs of many lifetimes in one. We got to redeem. And that is the one
How how
benevolence.
how
Huh?
strong you gotta be to how strong you gotta be to do that? How powerful do you have to be to carry all that weight? That's like
We got to be
Atlas with
like
the world on
Voltron,
his
brethren.
shoulders.
I think we're doing it.
Ow. I
I
do
think we're
too.
doing it. I mean, we got more work to do, but
I
I
feel
think
that
we're
I
doing it.
feel yeah, I feel the FBA movement is the redemption of bloodlines. People are stumbling across their genealogy. They are redeeming, they're restoring, they are shedding certain type of practices and spells and things of that nature.
Yeah.
The know thyself journey that a lot of people went on for 30 years, 40 years in this community, that was led by the likes of Dr. Ben and the
Yeah.
academic
I think we're
scholars and
doing it.
whatnot.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that
we
that
got a
that's
lot more to
redemption.
do, right?
We damn sure
But I
do.
would also say don't measure the fulfillment of redemption by what appears to be manifesting in others.
Right,
Focus
right.
on yourself.
On yourself, right.
Focus on yourself and your works and your responsibility. And if
Yes.
everyone does that, we're gonna do it. Shit.
Super
You
facts.
know?
And
So yeah, yeah,
mhm,
yeah. And I mean, they say many are called, few are chosen, right? 144,000, all that, where, you know, we all not going to do it. Some of us are going to be an example of what not to do. It's
super
what it
facts.
is, you know. As Raku shared with us, because why? His reasoning on predetermined, how he showed us he could look at charts of eclipses that occurred in
Whew.
ancient dynastic
13,
times of Kemet
1300. Right. It's
and
crazy.
see Malcolm X's life, you know, the predetermination is kind of been written in the stars
Yeah,
already,
he
what we
proved that.
say,
He
you
proved,
know?
yeah, he made the breakthrough. He proved that. Ladies and
And
gentlemen,
so,
look, I don't mean to cut you. I'm sorry. I just want to let them know if they did miss what this this workshop that you're speaking about, because I don't want them to go without seeing this. This is a very important. I don't a lot of
very
people didn't get
important.
maybe 30 or 40 people had tickets for this, but there's thousands of y'all. You should do your due diligence and look into the demonstration that Ras Ben and the good brother Ra Aku did right on the winter solstice. It's not even considered to be old in terms of how people treated the information. But
Yes.
yeah, they came through and they delivered, and it would be a crime if we had two uh master teachers, is what I call y'all. It would be a crime if two master teachers came to this community, made had a breakthrough, gave information that you could not only use to enrich your bloodline and your experience, but you could teach others, and you could defend yourself from all of the people who are coming around with all of these falsehoods, propaganda, and whatnot. So he literally, both of these brothers gave power to people who seek power. The QR code right there will get you access to that replay. I think we went on for about 5 or 6 hours. I came
Yeah, it
in
was a
and
full
then I
evening.
yeah, it
The
was a full
plates were
plate.
full.
So
We ate well
plates
that
is
night.
full. We ate it
All
up.
right.
So yeah, do your thing. You know what I mean? I'm gonna let it do what it do. These
Yeah,
things,
yeah, yeah. So
yeah,
now,
they speak for themselves.
and the other thing was Saturn moving into Aries. He who wears the lead crown. You know, they had this lore in alchemy that the alchemists can transform lead into gold, right?
Facts.
And we know our ancient noble ones would adorn themselves with golden crowns, right?
Facts.
Gold and lead have the same atomic weight, and both are very heavy metals. So wearing a gold crown feels the same weight wise as wearing a lead crown. They both carry the same weight. They're heavy,
Right.
but of course, gold is going to what? Feed the ego, feed the like, yeah, my like, give you that feeling like Biggie, right? I wear the gold crown in Brooklyn, but in 26, it may feel like the golden crown turns to lead. That the weight on the natural born leaders' heads. Some people that are in leadership positions, they use that art of war strategy and manipulation, and
Right.
they're not a natural born leader, right? They're
Machiavellian.
Capricorn
Yeah.
leader. They worked hard. They just climbed the top, climbed to the mountain, goat style, right?
Right.
But then you got Aries and Leos who are like natural born leaders. Aries is usually like they lead by being the first, the cutting edge. They
My
just,
son is a Leo. Lord.
everybody
I
trying to
mean
be like them,
right. My
just
bad.
because this shit's that tight, you know? And Leos, they so charismatic. They look so good on the throne that,
Hmm.
they just natural
Natural leaders. Yep.
being out front, you know?
Hmm.
So if you're like that, it's not gonna be a pleasant year for you. The crown
Damn.
is gonna feel like lead. It's gonna feel
Lights.
like the Capricorn leaders, the and I'm not dissing caps, I'm just, using the leadership the signs, the houses we associate with leadership and that leadership style of each house to kind of just have this reasoning, you know?
Right.
But it's going to feel like to natural born leaders that the work hard to get to the top and stay at the top leaders are gunning for them, you know, are working against them, and that then their natural born leadership skills and leadership potential is going to be a heavy crown to wear. You know, it's
Right.
going to be, and it's going to be a lead crown. It's not going to get the same respect and adoration as a golden crown ruler
Right.
would earn, you know? It's going to be
Facts.
mocked like, oh, your crown is, you got a lead crown? You a clown with your lead
Right.
crown, you know?
You clown
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
leg
yeah.
crown. I could
So
already see it. I got a certain Leo in mind that I'm gonna keep my eye on. But listen, I don't want to cut your wisdom, but we are definitely we are way past our time. We are at 2 hours and
that just means
36
we'll come
minutes.
back. We'll come back.
That's right. I do want to make a special announcement to the family while you're on the show. I've made this announcement before, but on 111, it's only right that we make the grand announcement, ladies and gentlemen. And that grand announcement is the fact that this is our first KTL All Star that we are giving his own show to. We've never done this before in the history of Know the Ledge on YouTube. It's only been me and Blue Pill. But this year for 2026, as a sign of our appreciation and as a sign of appreciation for getting the channel back, something that we call giving back, right? Making a way. My brother Ra Aku, they took his social media all away from him. They got my brother out here with no social media. My brother Ras Ben, he was talking about starting up his own Patreon and doing other things. So I was like, you know what? These are the two master teachers who literally was with us in Blog Talk. Like I got stuff for people
going
who
back
just
to
got here.
blog talk days,
But a lot of the people that just got here, literally, they got to prove themselves. And I'm just saying, it's a lot of new people to get put on, but you got to prove. You know what I mean? Like I'm thinking, I'm looking at things, and that could be dangerous. So they got to show their way to me. They got more work to do. But when it comes to the master teachers who put in the work, the master teachers who got a track record, the master teachers who are proven, the master teachers who been with us and ain't flip and ain't switch up and ain't act crazy and ain't show their ass, yeah, they're gonna get inherited. And I can't put nobody in front of the OGs. I can't put people who just got here in front of the people who've been here. So the platform is yours. Ras Ben is gonna have a night, and then he's also gonna have the option to do a lecture every month or a master class every month. We're gonna help promote his Patreon. We're also gonna help promote his products. We're also gonna help promote his brand. So KTL, we're gonna have people behind the scenes pushing, working, promoting, and improving not only the brand but the life of the brothers and sisters that work with us. Facts. And I'm gonna just give y'all a quick rundown about what y'all have coming to you in the form of this master teacher right here, who goes by the name of Ras Ben. So he is not just a triple threat; he's almost a quadruple threat. We're not even gonna make it super difficult. We'll just because he's an author, right? He authored books. That's your there has to be certain qualifications to be considered an all-star. But one of the qualifications of what Noble Drew Ali said, that you have to publish a book. You have to be an author. People have forgotten about that. I got multiple books, but I got more to come. But he has classics, right? So these classics right here, and I would share with My brothers and sisters that just got started, turn your lectures into books. For the Nubians, the New Jacks, turn your lectures or your powerful classic episodes into
Yes,
books
and yeah,
and get
because
those books published,
and
right?
why that's even a good piece of advice, because usually when you organize information to share vocally, verbally, you use as few words as possible.
Right.
And
Facts.
so, but if you're writing a book or, just sitting down writing, you're going to use as many words as possible,
Super
And
facts.
so, less is more when you're writing a book. And so, it's better to use the words you use to organize for a presentation and how you structure and organize your chapters and, bring it all together.
Right. And this good brother has four classics. And from those four classics, we will be building out these quote unquote shows and we were building out these reasons and whatnot. So the first book is Rocks of Ages, right? This book right here has so much information, so much gems, so many things can get broken down. So we're talking about Ras Naeem being interviewed by Ross Ben, or Ross Ben live at the Tucson gym show, or Ross Ben building with all of the gym rappers and all of the legends and whatnot, or just Ross Ben reading chapters from his book, right? Breaking this down, because I promise you, if you're in the stone business, you got on because you saw dudes online rocking stones and everything, and you jumped in and you're a rapper and you're selling and you got it lit, but you don't got this book. You don't got the science. This book goes back to 2000. I would highly suggest that you tap in and get with your elders, young man, young women. Y'all come into this community and y'all do not do your homework. Y'all are not giving no credit whatsoever to the people who literally set the table that you're sitting at and eating from. And that, in my humble opinion, is the biggest violation that I would not walk in room. I will flip tables over and I will not be in rooms with charlatans and people like that, because y'all can't live in my presence. I'm just putting that out there. That's how I'm coming with it. Y'all are not gonna live in my presence. Not in Atlanta, not in Houston, not in New York, not in LA. Wherever we go, if you're not paying homage and you're not putting it down the way that it's supposed to be, and you're just in this bitch popping collar and acting like you just walked in this motherfucker and you didn't pay no dues, you can't live around me. You can't live around me. Do that on your own time, but you're not standing next to me or not in my presence. I ain't having it. You feel me? Straight like that. And that shouldn't even feel like pressure to anybody who got their heart right and you come into this shit to do what needs to be done. This is not a free for all. This is not a rest haven, and it's not a fucking hangout. You know what I'm talking about? Respectfully, pardon me. I don't want to use any
We're
profanity like
redeeming.
that. We gotta
We're doing
redeem.
these
We gotta
divine
redeem.
works,
We
giving
gotta
thanks,
put some
having
order
fun.
back into things.
We're
Yeah,
coming
in
like
alignment,
Voltron, right? Not wrong.
right? In alignment with the charts. You know what I
You're
mean?
gonna
In
have to
alignment
close
with
out with that song, Brethren. I thought you was gonna open with it, but I guess you're gonna close with it because
because I felt
that's
your
the
energy. I
anthem for
was like,
26.
yeah, I wanted to give you the soul, the cosmic soul. But check this out. He also has a book called Dogon Mysteries, right? He also has a book on the Dogons that Rosbin wrote. He has vast information about the Dogon mysteries, the Sirius star system, and things like the Dog star system, all of those things. That's the good
Yeah,
brother right
because,
there. He'll be building on that.
as I hope you could have gleaned from our reasoning tonight, what I like to do is study the teachings of our ancestries, right? And then study modern astrophysics and astronomy and astrology and correspond it, articulate what our ancestors were saying in modern words where we could understand how they were viewing the heavens and, where are we in the galaxy? And if there's any one of our ancestral heritage of studying the stars that we need to be the ones to look at the most, is the
Right.
Dogon. It is.
Right.
Because they're the
The
ones,
Dogon
they're the
mysteries.
custodians of the teachings of Kemet like none other.
Yes.
If you
Yes.
don't want to like study some imaginary stuff about Kemet, but study what the actual ones who is making the hieroglyphs and making the netter and recording that thing, got to study the Dogon.
Right.
Yeah. That's what we do with
Indeed.
knowledge of the number.
Indeed. Beautiful. And then the triple, well, you got the quadruple threat that we're going to be bringing this year. But the third pillar that this brother has built up and holds up and has basically anchored this community is the study of the ancient mounds. The brother has a book called Free Your Mound. And Free Your Mound in 2019, Rosben, took me on a journey, right? That literally led into everything that is in my reality right now that I'm studying. Because Free Your Mound took me down a rabbit hole of ancient mystery and history about the ley lines. It showed me that I had to move from the Bronx immediately. Once I read that, I was like, yeah, I got to get out of here. This is not the place. I started saying on my show, New York is about to go down. I suggest y'all get up out of here. No disrespect to my New Yorkers, but I was living across the street from Bronx Zoo at that time. I'm like, yo, the animals was talking to me. And then C19 came. But it also showed me, it brought me down this rabbit hole of studying the slave ports and the actual slave depictions and the histories because of what was being laid out in that book that you wrote. So I was studying Natchez, I was studying Chesapeake, I was studying Charleston, and I
Yes.
was studying what was the other port? There's Natchez, Mississippi, there's Charleston, South Carolina, there's Chesapeake, Virginia, and it's one in Louisiana, on the Mississippi, I believe. But that was a real decode. It unlocked so many things for me, bro.
Yeah,
And
we
I
have
was
to
I
have
was
a,
and we yeah, I don't even
direct
think
and
we did a
personal
reasoning.
relationship with the earth, particularly in these times.
Yes.
Because the earth is going to be cleansing herself. The earth is cleansing herself. And so
Right.
you don't want the earth to be like, I don't know this nigga.
Right.
And wash you out.
Right.
You got to be in resonance with the earth.
Super
You got to
facts.
be connected to the earth through your sacred self has to be connected
Facts.
to the earth through sacred spots, man.
Sacred
But don't
spots.
sleep on the
Right.
Bronx, because the
Oh,
Fordham formation, where that Fordham University, I think is. What's the
yes.
school up there in the Bronx? Is Fordham
It's a
up
few
there?
of them. But Fordham is up there, yeah.
All right. There's a geological formation called the Fordham Formation, which Fordham University is built on. There's a
Right.
billion years of geological history visible right on the surface of the planet, right there
Right.
on the Fordham Formation.
Oh, for sure.
No, I'm born in the Bronx. I'm born in the
Huh?
Bronx. I'm born in the Bronx. That's my
The Fordham,
birthplace. Yeah.
Lenape Hoken.
So let not be hoking.
Lenape Hoken, I'm telling you, man.
But Spirit
Lenape
told me,
Hoken, the land
yes,
between Philadelphia and New York and New Jersey and Delaware is sacred, man.
sacred.
It's
So we
important.
got you on, right. So for the Free Your Mound classes, we got the 40th parallel. We got the
That's gonna be fun.
Lenape. Yeah, we got the Lenape Hoken breakdown. And we'll also be talking about the movement of the gritters, right? So we'll be speaking about the Quincy's and whatnot, John
Yeah,
Quincy,
George
Adam
Washington,
Quincy's,
John Quincy,
George
the Adams
Washington,
family.
right? The all
Yeah,
of
yeah,
how
yeah.
all of
Thomas
these
Jefferson and his Mount Madness.
woo, his Mount Madness was crazy. How you have Mount Vernon, you have Monticello, you know, all of these press
Monticello.
Monticello, like
Yeah.
all of yeah. So the Mount Gritters are the group of Europeans that they would call erroneously the founding fathers and things of that nature. But the Mount Gritters are the people who excavated these not these ceremonial and the burial
Brethren.
mounds. So they
Brethren.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know the thing about writing a book that's one of the biggest challenges? Let's say you write,
What is that? What is that challenge?
but
You had broke up, Ross. You gotta repeat that. Hello?
to
You gotta
the
repeat that. Lord have mercy.
the Wister family and what was that scientist's name? It's another one.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, the Wister family, man, major geomancers. Made like if you grid of the earth,
For
who
some
mapped
reason,
it
you starting
out
to freeze up, Ross. You
and
starting to freeze up.
you know it's their occupations.
Ross. Lord God.
Huh?
You starting to freeze up a little bit for some reason. You wasn't freezing at all before,
C-
but they got you
Well, it's
on
because it's time to
on
go, as you
Choppington.
said.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the signs.
I see it's
Shout out
12
to Hit
o'clock. Oh
in the
my
building.
gosh.
Yeah,
So yeah,
man.
we
We've
could
been going
finish up 26, getting
the
into it.
crumble. Yeah,
Hmm?
yeah. We're gonna come back for the
This is just
Rumble.
3-hour Atlas reasoning for tonight on January 1st,
Yes, yes. They want to know where they can obtain the books from. They want to know where they can obtain the books, the
I have
books.
to say, I thank you for this opportunity because I'm on the rebuild
Okay,
after I I I had a bout of physical health challenges on
right.
top of the passing of one of my children, and it
Indeed.
knocked me off my square. I got to be honest.
All
So
right,
I
it's all
have
good.
to, huh?
I said, look, we all live in life. You feel me? Henceforth, why we working the KTL, we got you on the KTL All Stars. You feel me? And all of that is gonna turn around this year. So
Yes, I'm
we'll
on the
get back to
turnaround
y'all.
this year. So
Yeah,
what I would say is stay plugged in. That's that's
right.
where we at. And so thank you again for this opportunity.
For sure, for sure. You already know.
All right,
You
so
already know.
maybe we'll be on next Thursday for the fulfillment of the 26th. We'll see. How's that
Right.
feel to
We could
you?
put that feels great for that crumble rumble. By then,
Crumble
we
and
could
rumble,
go
yeah.
right, right. Because
Because
by then,
why is rumble? Why is the crumble? Is
right,
Uranus's placement where economic institutions and you know uh institutions we feel that give us security are going to
yes,
crumble before our eyes. And the rumble, there's going to be a lot of martial influence this
energy,
year on many scales.
yes,
So I'll close with saying that. And that's what we go, that's what we named this year Crumble and Rumble. Those two planets seem like their placement and what they're doing is going to define a lot for this year. From earthquakes, the crumbling, like this might be a year earthquakes. Like if you're into that predictive market, because that's what I was even going to cater this reasoning on, predictive market.
Right.
I would bet on major earthquake swarms this year, particularly through the months of April and July. That's part of the crumble too. And there may be an issue with the power grid that contributes to economic systems crumbling this year.
Dope.
That's the crumble.
That's the
And
crumble.
rumble is just going to be a lot of martial interactions. It's kind of already started, because one of the realms we said that martial thing was going to jump off was the corporate realm. And we see how them boys up at MIT and all them different schools got killed around the technology they was studying. You know?
Yep.
That they got murdered.
They sad.
It's gonna be a lot of that type of shit this year. You know? Like hostile takeovers of corporations and CEOs getting
clipped,
chopped down by the mail order clerk, and HR using AI to do some inhumane things.
Right.
It's gonna be a lot of that this year, as well as war. I think it might even be the year might even start with war in January.
Yes.
Pluto hits Mars hits Pluto. The end of January. Boy, oh boy.
Mars is hitting Pluto. Mars is hitting Pluto at oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta be
early
ready for
January.
that. Lord have mercy. What's on that hat there, good brother? I see that
So
hat
we'll
you
build
got
more
on.
on that next Thursday, but I just gave him a little taste to you know, like this is where we going with our reasoning on 26, you know. Get to and so maybe next Thursday when we come together, we can even play around with some visions with that predictive market.
Yeah.
And how we're
We'll
gonna
look into
have
that.
fun with it and prosper and throw some things out there of what we might can vision for next year, you know, this upcoming year, January 1st.
Definitely.
All right, my
like
brethren.
I said,
KTL, love, honor, respect, salute. Salute, Red Pillar. When I grow up, be just like you. Thank you. Respect.
Respect. Peace, star. All right. Yes, clap it up for the good brother. Clap it up for the good brother. You already, man. Salute to the master teacher and whatnot. I hope y'all took some notes. This was a great reasoning. I did not want to overload y'all with this information, but you got overloaded. Please go and do something with it. Go do the research, a RAS search and whatnot, and get back to us. We do have a world premiere tonight. We have a new song on deck. We got a new entry. This song will be available 111. We just waiting for the masters to come back, the mastering. So it'll be available on Bass Drop. It's going to be a single. We're also going to be bringing out the other songs that we've been playing on Bass Drop, which is a Web3, quote unquote, tokenized music platform, not Spotify and not those other ones. We don't do that. We doing upscale shit. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gods and goddesses, Moors and Moabites, I want to introduce to you. This is Dr. Manhattan. All right. This is Dr. Manhattan. All right. Featuring Cambada, Red Pillar, produced by my peoples over there. All right. Over there.
produced by my good brother Nick. All right, so let's go. We'll be right back with it.
Mr. Manhattan. Mr. Manhattan. Mr. Manhattan.
I'm the generator and the operator and the architect. I'm the landlord, you a month later, your apartment rent. The crib keep, I'm the crib reaper and you all in debt. Yes, you gotta pay me if you like life or the cost of death. When you get around me, you better bow down, show the law respect. Take a crown off a king's head, then take a king's head off his neck. I invented the devil and made him a scapegoat, doing all this mess. When them sinners be praying to me, I be laughing at them when they all confess. I ain't diddy, but I'm diddling. Did a sit and then a sit again. Indigenous, aboriginal, and riddling. Pick up a pen and then I started scribbling. Get a new algorithm, I'm a rhythm. I put the simulation that we live in. After the cataclysm, we begin again. As the world burns, I'll be giggling.
Call me Mr. Manhattan. City is really a big prison man's traveling. Really Mr. Manhattan. The snap of a finger, a whole city can flatten. The black Mr. Manhattan. I'm the hero, the villain, and I'm the illest man. I'm the god they call Mr. Manhattan. And I'm proof the cataclysm can't happen.
2026, Space Odyssey, headed home on a 3-eye Atlas, blasting at ease versus Space Odyssey. Honestly, we had to face oddities. My metro was booming, my future was doomed in. The Drake shot at me, shot at Grace arteries. The creator, the genesis and internet. What an odd future had to brace modesty. What if God was in the garden, what he taste goddess.
I'm the generator and the operator and the architect. I'm the landlord, you a month later, your apartment rent. The crib keep, I'm the crib reaper and you all in debt. Yes, you gotta pay me if you like life or the cost of death. When you get around me, you better bow down, show the law respect. Take a crown off a king's head, then take a king's head off his neck. I invented the devil and made him a scapegoat, doing all this mess. When them sinners be praying to me, I be laughing at them when they all confess. I ain't diddy, but I'm diddling. Did a sit and then a sit again. Indigenous, aboriginal, and riddling. Pick up a pen and then I started scribbling. Get a new algorithm, I'm a rhythm. I put the simulation that we live in. After the cataclysm, we begin again. As the world burns, I'll be giggling.
Call me Mr. Manhattan. City is really a big prison man's traveling. Really Mr. Manhattan. The snap of a finger, a whole city can flatten. The black Mr. Manhattan. I'm the hero, the villain, and I'm the illest man. I'm the god they call Mr. Manhattan. And I'm proof the cataclysm can't happen.
2026, Space Odyssey, headed home on a 3-eye Atlas, blasting at ease versus Space Odyssey. Honestly, we had to face oddities. My metro was booming, my future was doomed in. The Drake shot at me, shot at Grace arteries. The creator, the genesis and internet. What an odd future had to brace modesty. What if God was in the garden, would he taste goddess? One night, midnight, summer's eve. Yeah, with the birds and the bumblebees. In the race to be the face that the goddess see. The return of the AI masters. Live from the hereafter. Baby cries when it's born. When a man dies, we hear laughter. Joe Rogan and his fear factor. Yeah, homie on them pills in them Hollywood hills. Eating drugs with these top tier actors. The realest nigga in Nebraska, you bastards. Yeah, we mastered the word like a Harlem pastor. Like actors, broadcast Forecasters and forecasters. Knowledge reigns supreme like the blast master. Black hippies, black lit bastards. Wooden stocks on the black blickies. Black forces and black dickies. Throw your guns in the air and rap sticky. They act picky. When it racks bricky, they shoot their shot like they clap Ricky. They go to Pound Town, Gag City. Act Nicky, attack hickeys. Damn pickies. Transformed in front of us like Sam Wiki. Man, it's plain the thought. It's really a train of thought. Longer than the tunnels where them trains is caught. Underground reptilians, the brains is sought. Yeah, running labels like them stables with them drain they horse. Of course, I had to leave a stain, of course.
Call me Mr. Manhattan. The city is really a big prison man's trap. Really Mr. Manhattan. The snap of a finger, a whole city can flatten. The black Mr. Manhattan. I'm the hero, the villain, and I'm the illest man rap. I'm the god they call Mr. Manhattan, and I'm proof the cataclysm can't happen.
They traverse timelines
to reclaim what was once divine.
They are the architects of time, the keepers of the black light.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The world premiere. Mr. Manhattan.
Featuring Cambada and Red Pillar. All right. Featuring Cambada and Red Pillar off of that Scorpion, that Voltron soundtrack. You know what I'm talking about? That's that winter solstice music right there. You know, get you through the winter. You know what I'm talking about? We going dark with it. But yeah, let's go and get a word from my sponsors, and then we're gonna get up out of here. We will be back, inshallah, maybe tomorrow. I'm gonna upload a blue pill video that he did earlier, so y'all look out for that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the share button and the likes. Shout out to our sponsors once again. This right here with the flu going on. Oh yeah, tomorrow I'm bringing Professor Gabriel on to talk about the flu, and I'm also bringing my good brother to give a reading for the year and whatnot. My good brother Malik Deshaun is going to come through as well. But this right here is V-Cell CMOS. If there's anybody in the building that got their package, let me know how that CMOS tastes. Please let the chat know how the CMOS tastes, so you know that it's just not me over here talking like this. If you got your package, let the family know how this tastes. This for the flu. This is to fortify for this mystery flu that's going on. Please, if you don't do anything, this is baby food. You literally could feed the babies this. It tastes like applesauce. This right here is soursop and elderberry. I do not want to get sick. This, you know what I mean? I want to cleanse myself, but I don't want to fall under no type of sickness. I can't afford it right now. So yeah, man, y'all tap in, and we're gonna go to V-Cell the commercial. Peace.
V-Cell in my cup, I'm feeling boss. 21 flavors powered by CMOS. Glow from within, yeah, we never fall off. Round it up, 99 minerals, flaws. V-Cell in my cup, I'm feeling right. Sip to the sunrise, dance to the night. From the ocean's kiss to your city lights. 21 flavors, pure health in every bite. Drip so clean, we're custom made. From reef to street, we elevate. Gold green gel, set the record straight. Nature in a bottle, that's a better way. Charge me up, no caffeine crash. Clean energy, steady splash. From skin to gut, yeah, we live from within. Wellness on 10, let the rhythm begin. Pour it up, pour it up. Feel the wave, body thanking me. Every save, ocean wisdom in this glass. V-Cell magic, CMOS. V-Cell in my car, I'm feeling boss. 21 flavors powered by CMOS. Glow from within, yeah, we never fall off. Count it up, 99 minerals, flaws. Island breeze in the city maze. Women are rich in 1,000 ways. Immunity high like the summer rays. Hydrate the hustle, fuel your days. Berry, mango, ginger, lime. Pick your flow, your flavor, your time. Beauty and balance we redefine. Every little sip, align your shine. Wear it up, feel the way. Body thanking me for every sip. Ocean wisdom in this glass. I sell magic, see moss. Resell in my car, I'm feeling boss. 21 flavors powered by CMOS. Glow from within, yeah, we never fall off. Count it up, 99 minerals, floss. From the coral choir to the heartbeat drum. Roots run deep where the wild tide hum. Real ones know where the glow comes from. Resell in the mix now, watch us.
Oh shit. Yo, look, fellas, right? From the same company that brought you this, V-Cell, we bring you this, right? Listen, when I tell you, you want to talk about the year of the fire horse, A game, get your horse back. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Listen. Say, man, hey, man. Say, man, hey, man. Look, this ain't that pink that look. You don't got to go to the gas station no more. You don't have to risk having a heart attack just to have a good time. When I tell you, I'm going to the doc. It's a black woman. It's a doctor, right? That's the lady behind the brand, and she reached out to us to be a sponsor. And the products are so good, I've become a brand ambassador. I'm not just a sponsor. I'm a brand ambassador, right? It's so good. But what I did is I got some samples, right? And I went to some people and I got them some samples and they got to get back to me. Let me see what time it is. I need to hear from them tomorrow so we could get some testimonies. But fellas, sisters and brothers, because look, I suspect one of the main reasons why men and women are not getting along these days, I don't know, but I suspect one of the main reasons that there is a divide is because the performance is not given what it's supposed to give. Okay? That's what they were saying, that the performance is not given what it's supposed to give. So we need, instead of being, we don't need to be angry. We don't need to lash out. You know, men don't even need to go, I'm going to get my passport. I'm going to run away from bad reviews. No. Your Kegels and some of this A game. Ladies, you can have this in a medicine cabinet. You could take this on a date with you when you go on your Tinder or your Grindr dates. Keep it with you just in case. You know what I mean? If something does happen, pass him a pill. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully, brother. You know what I mean? You only got to take one every 3 days. It's not an everyday thing. But this is not only for performance. Mind you, it's great when you performing. No, this is a energy supplement. Right? Just for regular life, okay? But it just so happens that it's going to take care of everything. I'm being very respectful. I'm speaking with grace, and I'm being very right. I'm not being belligerent. You know what I'm saying? A game. Let's get back on our A game, fellas. You feel me? Even if you're on your A game, you could be on your A+ game. You know what I'm talking about? Even if you're on your A game, you could be on your A+ game. We talking preventive measures. We talking about bringing you back to life. You know what I'm talking about? Trust me. I would not be, you know me. I ain't gonna put my reputation on the line for no da shit. Bruh. That part. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to tap out. I will see you on the other side. We have Professor Gabriel. In this, what we have for y'all. We have a free book and buy me a coffee right now. We have a free book. Let me see if I could pull up the cover of this book. We got a free book for y'all as a gift. Matter of fact, I think we got RAS Ben's PDF in there, if my memory serves me correct. But what I do know beyond a reasonable doubt is that we have a book in there about your about fasting and about detoxing. And Professor Gabriel, he wrote the book, and we're gonna have him on the show so he could break it down and whatnot. I'm just looking for the cover of the book. I don't know where I did with it, but the book is in Buy Me a Coffee. You can't miss it and whatnot. Also, we are going to, on January the 15th, we are going to Colombia for a 10-day retreat. This is not a retreat to, you know, talk to the parrots and everything. This is a retreat that's dealing with cleansing, activation, and what we will call emergence. So this is more of a, you know, this is spiritual elbow grease. You feel me? This is spiritual elbow grease. You tap in, then you're gonna, you know, I'm just giving you the heads up. This is not a laid back type of vacation type of thing. This is going to do the work. This is the shadow work for real, but on maybe on an accelerated pace. So for those that are ready for that, y'all could tap in with us. But yeah, that's what it is. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Let me see. So I feel like I'm forgetting something. Yeah. I don't know. Whatever it is, we'll catch up. We're gonna talk about all of the news. Drake, they hit Drake with a RICO. They hit Aubrey Graham with a RICO today, right? They hit Aiden Ross with a RICO. Man. And this is how 2026 is starting. Aiden Rothstein, not Aiden Rothstein, and Aubrey Graham got hit with a RICO for gambling. Okay, they were gambling and they were using bots. I'm not even gonna say nothing. Anyway, we'll get to it. We'll talk about it. There's a whole bunch of shit going on, but we'll get to it. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are out for the night. And what was RAS Ben's request? He said he wanted to hear a song. Let me give him his song, and then we out, man. Peace, love, and light. All right.
Hey, yo, we got it going on. I'm here to right all my wrong. Yo, we got it going on. It's for the culture. Yeah. Hey, yo, we got it going on. I bring my niggas together, we transform and become the Voltron. Yeah. We hit to right all our wrong. Hey, yo, we got it going on. Yeah. Went through the fire, but it lit up my fuse. I'm blowing up like a bomb. Introduce you to God. I'm teaching essentials, I'm operating at my peakest potential. Elijah, he told me to keep it all simple. Through these instrumentals, I speak to your mental. Red. Back in the booth, rap to the youth, they was lacking the truth. Rap to the seas, they was lacking the roots. Smoked all the trees and they snacking on fruits. Bed, attached to my roof, detached to the roof on the back of the coupe. Back from the future, I'm back in the red and the blue, yeah, I'm back on my snoot. Niggas be biting, they cracking, they tracking, they niggas be capping, they lacking it. Put a toe tag on the back of they boot. Battle with nukes, I'm attacking they troops. I wrote these bars in Sumerian text. The legends of Mu, I'm the Marian sets. It was written in Targaryen text. Came to conquer all my variants. Yeah, we got it going on. I bring my niggas together, we transform and become the Voltron. Yeah. We hit to right all our wrong. Hey, yo, we got it going on. Yeah. Went through the fire, but it lit up my fuse. I'm blowing up like a bomb. Introduce you to God. Back on the mic, was dead on my back, now I'm back on my life. Came back from the
what the hell? They got a pillar at the Vatican. Pope Pablo, where you at?
You either fight or run. Life a game, I feel like I won. Yo, we got it going on. I bring my niggas together, we transform and become the Voltron. We hit a third all on wrong. Hey yo, we got it going on. Yeah. Went through the fire, but it lit up my fuse. I'm blowing up like a bomb. Introduce you to God.
From the quantum shadows, a traveler emerges. Fly Sinet, the multi-dimensional hacker, living his hero's journey. He joins the Pantheon at AI Masters Workshop, November 1st and 2nd, hosted by 363 Empire with Red Pillar and Seven Bomar. Tickets, lock yours in now.
This is the law of mental command. It is the understanding that you are not a victim of your thoughts, but a commander of them.